14% spread on arbitrage. Thoughts on institutions pushing price down to profit on arbitrage? Thanks. I'm not intelligent enough to make that assessment, nor do I trade metals to be able to kind of know that world, but that is something that I was alive to and knew there was a disconnect between the prices in China and the world as well, because they have kind of a very unique situation over there. Joey, do you want to comment a lot?
No, I can't really say.
That's not my world, I got to be honest with you. Maybe the big kahunas can look at that. But it's...
What are you doing?
Man. All right, guys, it is now. We can wait another 10 seconds so we can get one in the bank.
Bro, these guys owe us a full session.
Hold on. We gave them one this morning, right?
Yeah,
and then Neil was very quick to point that out. He's like, we got to deduct that from the other one. Well, now we're going to be breaking.
Their deductions are crazy.
Their deductions.
They don't realize. Yeah, they don't realize that people don't forget. Remember that one time they went out with Mando?
Yes, I do. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It's like, man, like you guys at
good
least,
vibe.
like I can
Katina getting lit up over there, bro.
The time they owe us, I can take the rest of the week off, essentially, at that point. You know what I mean?
That's a statement there. That's a statement. All right, guys. It's been a hell of a day today on these markets. A lot has recovered, as you could see, from the lows that we were seeing this morning. We're going to send you over to the big boys. They're going to be that way, and I'll see everybody momentarily for the afternoon rundown at the big desk.
Neil and I appreciates fostering important business relationships.
We are literally out at business lunches saying, guys, we have to go.
Yeah.
We have to go. We have these guys that are back there, you know,
they're counting on us.
We're team players. And they're like, no, guys, we need to derive more business, build the business, build the brand. And we're like, okay, fine, we'll stay for another day.
You think I want an extra glass of wine? Do you
Hell
think?
no. You think, no.
Am I trying to eat that extra piece of sushi? No, of course I don't want that. Come on now.
Right,
we're here for the people.
The next time we go out for gorgeous lunches and anything like that, we're just going to send Joe. We'll just send Joe. And then we'll get that going.
I don't want an extra cocktail.
Sharif can hold down the fort.
No.
Sharif and I will do it, and then you'll sub next time, and these guys can have their way. But what an interview! Thanks guys. That was a great midday show. And of course, the midday show is the flagship of Trader TV Live. These guys. No. And I'm saying that because the news, everything like that. Great segment there, and plus Adara had a killer.
Great.
Adara's eating, but that was a great interview. Like the way Adara has evolved, it's almost like a Pokemon. You went from like a Charizard into like whatever those other ones are.
Look, my daughter collects them, but it doesn't mean I have any idea what you're talking about.
No. Well, once you level them up, they start to.
Okay.
Yeah, like Charizard is something else. Charmander, I think.
So what do they start out as?
I don't know. Little. Yeah, Charizard.
Okay, well,
Charizard is the highest, as far as I know.
Well, if you're trying to get to a Charizard as a trader, and you want to level up your game, you know what's for you? The Academy, baby, because now that the Trader TV Academy is officially live, we're seeing a lot of you diving into the modules, and we've been posting pretty much every single day, all of us on that news feed, so make sure you catch us there. Look, we've done the work to make sure this platform is ready, and it's your turn to step inside. You can get started on your journey today, starting price at $480 introductory value right there, and if you haven't joined the tons of traders inside, now is your time. You can scan the QR code out in front of you, dive in, become a Charizard. I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
You are.
I'm saying that right because I call myself a nerd, but
become a Charizard.
That's the one place where I can't claim I know any idea what I'm talking about. We know what we're talking about though in trading, and that's why we've got this academy locked and loaded for you guys. So check out the modules, jump in while the water is warm, even though I'm freezing today. And the market.
It's because you got the aerodynamic head. Remember we talked about this now.
Yeah.
And now that's going to forever be.
If I wasn't going to Florida next week, I would shave. But I wanted to have the. I was gonna do it. I was gonna wait till the summer to do it, but then I was like, you know what? Let me just do the trial run now.
Well, you've had it before, but
I have, but I haven't done it since.
Yeah. I got you.
I think it was COVID. I did it.
Yeah, probably.
Might have been.
COVID is like.
That's such
time just flies. I have no idea.
Feels like yesterday, but it's really.
I already am a Charizard. I'm not. I don't. I'm already that guy, man. Trust me. So, but I'll try to level up, man. I'll try to get going. I'm gonna try to be that rare illustrator Logan Paul style, right there. I saw my boy Kevin O'Leary yesterday walking around with what he claims to be 20 million across his neck, right there. He has a one-of-a-kind, it's Kobe and Michael Jordan autograph patched card. It's actually, if I can show it to you online, you see it. Next time he comes on, I'm going to talk to that man about that right there. And then he has it all blinged out in a Tiffany's case like my guy Logan had as well. So, yeah, those guys really representing the sports card angle. And the thing about all that is like, if you don't shill those, then no one's going to. So you sort of have to be that guy that goes around and starts shilling. Like Logan Paul, like wore it down on WrestleMania, and you got to make a thing of it in order for it to be something.
You have to create that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go, man. Thank you. I guess if I'm a legendary Pokemon, I guess that's pretty good. Thank you so much for that talk there. You have a funny name, and I don't even know if I should say it, but
let me see.
It's here. I'm gonna put it on in 1 second.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. I just saw it.
It's high on life. I think he means Jesus
Jesus
is high.
is high.
Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, could be. Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
That's right. That's probably the Dominican baseball player. Jesus.
Or Jesus.
Jesus.
Or Jesus is the high one.
Yes. Something like
which
that.
Can have more, which could have more.
We're not trying to be political up in here, or religious. Okay, so yeah, Bitcoin had a nice run, man, up to 69,000. I think we saw that today. That was a good one. Stopped on a dime at 70. So we can have a quick look over here. A quick look on this. This is the chart that I use here. Shout out to TradingView, should be sponsoring me. But there it is, 98.60 all the way down to 98.50. So the dollar right now making a little bit of a move back side. Bitcoin, I don't think it's very expensive for a paid premium version of TradingView either. There it is. So Bitcoin, yeah. So we had an epic. Ooh, didn't even notice this one. That was at. Oh, I wasn't here. Ooh, we actually broke 70,000 right there. That was nice.
Briefly.
Yeah, that's your. This is your. I mean, look, hindsight, but huge move up, fade. Right? Huge move up, like all of these moves, this one didn't fade, but you get to that key level of 70, was kind of an easy pushback through. So let's see if that happens again. Now you have that high. I wouldn't short it against that high. I just want to see if it does that same move again. Then you can push it back down through 70 if it fails top again. So that's kind of the trading that I'm trying to do. Very similar to what we have on Google. I mean, I can explain some of the trading that happened here on Google for me today as well. But Bitcoin up to 70 was pretty nice. And yeah, here it was. It came through, didn't push 307. We pushed it lower, and then right back in there as we averaged up. I'd have liked to average down into this if it kept on winning, but we stopped on a dime right there at 306, right there for Google. So pretty happy with this short, although would like to see it play out a little bit in the futures as well. Short, nice trade there. Now just waiting to see. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm getting a little anxious now. I don't like. You know, we had not a rough morning, but we had a morning where we were shorting all of these names, and just they kept on popping upside. So now I have emotional damage about the short.
You have a key.
Emotional damage.
It's one of the few ones I actually can press the button.
Yeah, I think I do it pretty good anyways there, but yeah. So I've got a little bit of that damage on the short side of trading so far here today. So, but okay, yeah, you're in. You're in Carnival. Okay.
Well, I was gonna be in. We're about to do the rundown. I was looking for a re-entry into NCLH, but the one that was doing a trend break was Carnival on Sympathy. So it was basically like a trend breakdown happened, and there wasn't like an entry that I could get in NCLH. But we're gonna go into the rundown this afternoon to see what names you were all interested in and wanted us to talk about, as you got to cast your votes all morning long.
Welcome, everyone, to the afternoon rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. Neil and Shawn, the big boys, as they're known. They're locked, they're loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get your tickers on the afternoon rundown is to join us in the chat and to vote every day for your favorite tickers. You got to throw in that $sign, though, before voting. But make sure to vote every day. We're up bright and early now at 8 a.m. Triple Qs, let's look at all four major averages before we get into the actual top five. The triple Qs, they're up 0.12. Not a bad look there. Negative for the majority of the day. The SPY just turning green now, up 0.05%. The Dow essentially flat, but looking to go green, boys, up 0.06%. with the IWM Russell 2000 ETF absolutely leading the way here in terms of all 4 major averages, up 0.75% or thereabouts. So keep your eye out on that. ONDS, guys, ONDAS, we call it. Incorporated, the #1 ticker as decided by you. What a move this one was at 9:30, rocketed up into 1242, but a bit of a Christmas tree retracement, as we call it here on the floor. The company's shares are trading higher after they announced a $10 million strategic investment and a partnership with Worldview. Under the agreement, guys, Ondas and Worldview, they're going to collaborate to combine the Worldview's high-altitude, long-endurance stratospheric balloon system with Ondas's portfolio of unmanned aircraft system capabilities, guys. The market liked that, but a big drop right now, 1242, high trading at 1070.
Yeah, this one isn't necessarily like a broken situation, but this is going to be a really ugly candle on the daily chart if things don't change. If this is how this candle ends, you'll think, oh man, you got one of those silly dark pool wicks. It's screwing up your daily chart, Neil. You should go fix that. No, not really. This was a breakout this morning when the entire space was going, and Shreve just called it a Christmas tree. I don't know, 100% retracement, whatever you want to call it. We are back to where we started. If you have good news and if you have a sector which is pushing on, obviously, the weekends, Shreve calls it belligerencies, but events, it's never a good sign to fail a breakout this badly. It's a bit bearish. It's actually a lot bearish. I think looking at this, I have a support level down here at about 980 or so. So my first thought is there's room to that, at least. But tomorrow, my thoughts are going to be going in the other direction. The example, somehow this didn't make, I don't think it's going to make the list. You know, we can't tell you guys what to vote for. But I said this morning, or I said it in the middle of the day during the lesson of the day, that you've got to respect things and have outs. Like I look at something like AVAV, which had another defense name, which was, you know, running, and it had its own story, but the sentiment's still the same in terms of reversal. Like this broke through the support, which is the reason I bought it in January. Like I got stopped out of this at somewhere in the middle of the day here when it broke to 228. When you have positive news or like a positive sentiment that gets reversed to turn negative, that breaks the stock technically. And you've got to be able to back away from it. Now, Ondas isn't there yet, but it's not a good sign when you see this kind of a reversal candle on what many would have thought would have been a great day for it. So yeah, not a very good look for Ondas. Unless we can close back above the 50 period, make it look a little bit better, I'd be inclined to look short at least the next day or two here for ONDS.
Yeah, ONDS, again, like one of those ones that always seems to be hovering around this $10 mark. And yeah, you know, the stories are good. You're going to get these kind of names moving around, as Neil said, you know, in the pre-market. And then well, as soon as the market opened up, this one started to moon. But we got action in the pre-market as well. So that was, you know, something up $10, up to 10.40, and then it blasts higher. So I would say it looked like 10 was probably a decent hold down there. So we'll see if it can do that same thing again. I would be looking at $10 straight in the face here for ONDS. Okay, super chat on silver over here. Yeah, so that's the thing about silver in China. There's always that difference. And we could look at spot silver live here, or you could trade SLV into there. But yeah, I guess there it is right there. Notice Shanghai spot silver is okay, $100. They have a 13% import tax, okay? So there's a 14% spread there on arbitrage. So you're saying there's like, does that mean that there's 1% there to get? I'm not sure.
You're looking at thoughts on institutions pushing price down to profit on arbitrage.
Yeah, I mean, that's what people do. I mean, arbitrage is a decent strategy these days.
Like
I'd have to.
It's pretty well speculated. I don't want to say well known, but it's pretty well speculated. Silver is one of the more controlled and manipulated commodities out there. And I think that's just part and parcel. For us, when you're just looking to trade the momentum, it's not the end of the world. But if you are trying to swing, it's something that has, I guess, frustrated investors for quite some time, and this would not be the first time you hear of it. We have a headline coming out. IDF says it targeted Iran's internal security headquarters and bases. Strikes on missile launchers and weapon sites continue. So, yeah, we're going to just see so many of these headlines.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's not going to be
night. Is it nighttime over there right now? I'm not even sure the different times.
Yeah, it should be.
But, I mean, that's the whole thing, right? I mean, you're going to be seeing videos and all that, and as it comes through, we got to watch out. I mean, the price of silver. We have to go back to Sharif there. I want to thank you for that super chat. I mean, I wish, if anything, we might not be able to answer it the best way, but at least we can discuss that there is that arbitrage there, and if you do see a difference between spot and physical and some of the futures contracts trading. Now we know that there's, obviously there's reasons for that as well. Oil right now making a move back down through 71 into 70.80 now, and well, I was gonna say well off the bottom, but not really. I mean, 70.20, the low of the day right there for oil. So we'll see if it can make its way back down there. Maybe some more calming, relations would be a good thing here for the market. I'm short. Looks like we're about to get out of this short. We were capturing profits all over the place until now. If this breaks 307, we can get out of that one right now for Google, as the market has just made a push all the way back to its highs one more time right now after not even getting to VWAP, man. I thought there was potentially going to be a sell-off here into the close, and we did good. We did sell off decently there, but we're going to wait to see if Google can break through 307, get out just a couple pennies north of that. Looks like that's going to happen here, as is the futures. Well, everything's right back to highs. So be careful now. Here goes Google upside. We have our stop, and we're going to get out of that very, very soon. So it looks like these shorts right now getting hit. The market has already turned green. So green's ahead here for the Nasdaq and for many of these names. So yeah, congratulations to anybody that bought that bottom. It was a little scary off the open, I feel like, for sure.
Holding 25.
Yeah, holding 25,000 right now is the market. I thought we had broke it. We were starting to head to the downside. So we take a shot. Looks like we'll be out of this one pretty soon here for about a 30-cent hit on Google, which is fine, man. I mean, we made some money on it, and we'll still be up on Google despite getting stopped out right now. All right, next stock. I don't think it's going to be Google. Let's go over and find out what it is.
Tesla.
Jamie Dimon making comments right now. He says he expects the conflict to add, quote, a teeny bit to inflation, whatever that means. Anyway, Tesla next, down 0.07%. Try to go green above that 404.5. Several different headlines. Looks like they're regaining a little bit of market share in Europe. It's really a mixed bag. Let's talk about it. Registrations more than doubled from February 2024 in Portugal. They increased 74% in Spain, 32% in Norway, 14% in Belgium. But that's where the good news ends for them there. They fell 45% in the Netherlands and 18% in Denmark and another 7% in Italy. So a mixed bag with respect to registrations for Tesla in Europe. Now flat on the day separately. They did report that they hit 8.4 billion full self-drive miles. That's what they're talking about. Billion cumulative miles driven. Accelerating towards that, 10 billion mile target that Elon wants for his unsupervised autonomy. The fleet added 4.25 billion miles in 2025 alone, with 1 billion miles logged in the first 50 days of this year on FSD. So good data off which to work. And then there was also the Cybertruck price adjustment we saw about 10 days ago. He dropped the price of the lowest version Cybertruck from $69,995, $10,000 lower to $59,995. He's since returned that back up, guys. So 10 days of a cheaper Cybertruck, but not looking to prolong the margin compression.
The chart, the weekly chart on Tesla, like there's actually more to like on the weekly. I've been harping on the daily chart, thinking, okay, well, it's only a matter of time before we break down this 200 period. By the way, once again, Tesla is bouncing off this support in the 380s. And that 200 period moving average is actually held. When you look at this on like the weekly chart or even out to a monthly, and then remind yourself, hey, all we did, kind of double topped it, but we're pulling back into a prior resistance area on the monthly chart, and with the potential to bounce. Like, this is a critical month. You don't have to, it doesn't have to, I'm automatically was thinking it was gonna press lower, but we could hold on to some of these prior highs. Valuation is always going to be a bit of concern with Tesla, but there's certainly some momentum here when you look at the higher time frame for the growth story on Tesla. And it's all about, look, they're discontinuing models, understanding where the growth is going to come from, and that's going to be robotics and automated driving. I think that's going to be good. I don't necessarily think that the SpaceX IPO really matters in this context, because they're not going to combine, but I mean, it's some hype that can help you out at least a little bit, because that's part of the story is is the hype around it and the cult status around it. So yeah, I kind of, on the higher time frame, I'm liking this a little bit better. And you have to acknowledge, we are bouncing the 200 period moving average. If you like buying off that level, I wasn't a huge fan of it off the 200 period here because it hadn't been respecting it. We're getting a pretty decisive bounce today off that level. It's just, we're not doing, I don't know if we're doing much with it if we can't take out the 420 level, but a hold of a higher low to at least test the 420, I think that's a little something here for Tesla. So could bounce off the 200 period. A good, that's where you want to see money come into a stock in long term anyways. So it did happen today. I kind of wasn't expecting it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was there when I was trading and I pulled it out and I was like, okay, we're right. I was like, what are we looking at the long term? I was like, wait a second, we're right there. So we went short early, which was good on 400. Then it broke 400. Then we went long, which was also good until it broke back down below, and we had to get out of here as soon as we ended the show. We basically punched out. It broke through 401, and we got out. So we could have waited, I guess. I mean I would have looked. That's a stop out right there. Like it would have got stopped out breaking through 400 anyways. So we take the 401 once we break underneath the 50 period and 25, more importantly, the 50 at that time. We were nowhere near VWAP or anything. And now I'm almost thinking like, underneath the 200, would much rather break this 400 there before we even think about going short. And right now that short is not part of the plan here for Tesla. But I think if we could break underneath there, you don't even have that much room to VWAP. So I'm going to stay away from this stock. I'd like to see it underneath VWAP before we go short. The fact that the market is up and this is basically flat, I actually think it has more room to go up to catch up with the market. So I would, I'm thinking long on Tesla. Hold of 400 obviously would be nice to see, and that would be a good testing spot. And I think if you lose 400, then maybe your punch out, and again, depending on where you're stopped, how much room you want to give a stock or whatever, that area right there, 399 and change, would be your stop. So I would say I still like the long. We're above VWAP, but if you can hold the VWAP, even better. We haven't done anything since VWAP since the morning. So that's been the right trade, and the right trade has been to hold on to the longs. So no matter what we did here at 400, I'm pretty much always, unless it really screams, like I'm pretty sure 400 and key levels like that will always, for me, be a look at the short anyways. And then once it breaks it, we can change our mind. And yeah, happy with everything. Just always can execute better, and we'll look to do that on Tesla soon. But I agree with Neil. I think it's long term, and you're not buying it for like their cars. They've already stopped the X and the S. Model 3 and Model Ys are their babies, so that'll be fine. But it's more about Optimus and more about the FSD moving forward and all of that. So very, very excited about Tesla, but I like the 200 period buy. And we've mentioned this before, like for me, it's at a level where if you're not in it, it's not a bad time to start for Tesla. It's been getting hit a little bit here. So.
And only because we keep saying Optimus, Autobots, roll out.
All right.
I'm telling you, man, Optimus was
a jam back then?
He was the man. Optimus was one of those, like if you grew up in the 80s like I did, like there were just certain leaders that, whoop butt. And Optimus was one of them. And then in the movie, they tried to replace him with this punk Rodimus Prime. I'm like, you can't have the movie version of a great cartoon and you kill the star and then come up with this punk who's supposed to then lead the Autobots that nobody believed in. Like the guy was a complete chump. You couldn't even believe the damn thing. It was utter nonsense. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. You can tell I had to watch that in the theater as a kid and still hate the fact that they killed off Optimus Prime. It still bugs me to this day. Let's go see what the next one is on the list. And my guess is it's something shiny.
Silver. Oh, that's next, Neil, but good call on that. Before we get to the next one, guys, more comments from Jamie Dimon. He says, right now, the U.S. economy is doing fine, but there is more exuberance than there should be. He goes on to make a comment about the banks. He says, we see banks doing things we probably wouldn't do. Comment there, so no context with that being reported by Financial Juice. Let's talk about NVIDIA. Decidedly positive on the day to the tune of 3% and more. First and foremost, Morgan Stanley taking out Micron on their top pick list and putting NVIDIA in their place. They say You know that they've had many good quarters. They haven't moved while the business has continued to strengthen, the analyst tells investors in a research note. Separately, NVIDIA will reveal a new inference processor today, or processor specifically for inference, not today, but they will. And it is being, it's a team up here with Grok, G-R-O-Q, which is the chip company where Chamath Palihapitiya has an interest in, that we reported on that investment, I think, a couple of months back to the tune of around 20 billion. Separately, NVIDIA is investing in Lumentum and Coherent in an optical networking push. That's been a big one, guys. Keep your eye out on LITE as well as Coherent. Big moves lately. And then lastly here, guys, UBS maintaining NVIDIA coverage with a buy and keeping the same price target of $245.
Okay, I have to shout this out because it's too good in the chat, so I gotta throw it up. Even if you got me, you got me. This part of the show is actually sponsored by and brought to you by Trader TV Academy. As you can see, they're scanning the QR code in front of you. But for now, also sponsored by Metamucil. I can only assume you got me for being talking about the 80s, but that just keeps it real. And great comment. I appreciate it. You got a chuckle out of me, that's for sure. We appreciate you. NVIDIA. If you were waiting for the sign of a bounce, look, regardless of the whole everything is bouncing today, so why should we read too much into this? I get it. You're going to be a little bit skeptical because the whole world bounces when everyone thought, you know, it's going to be doom and gloom and then we're just going to die out today and it's going to be selling and blah, blah, blah. Well, in NVIDIA's case, it's been sitting in a range. All you can ask for, if you're in a really long bull flag, forget this daily chart. Let me go to a higher time frame so you get a better sense of this. If you've been sitting in a range, maybe the weekly's weekly's better. If you've been sitting in a range for quite some time, like this, where you're just sort of flagging, you find that support, the fact that we bounced off of our support in the mid 170s after earnings, they rinsed us on earnings, right? Anybody who's holding NVIDIA shares couldn't have been happy with that. But all we did is go right back into that low to mid 70s support level, bounce the 200 period moving average, bounce off it, and gets bought up like absolute gangbusters. So until proven otherwise, the NVIDIA buy support is intact. The first level that you would have hoped it would bounce off after they sold a great quarter has happened. So it seems like at least until we get back into that silly 193 to 94 area, it's like all systems go again. When you get to there, I think we got a bit of a problem when we get to the 90, just because it hasn't been able to do anything with that 93 level. But I think we can get there again, that's for sure. So good bounce here on NVIDIA. I like them much better than, you know, hoping that some of the other bounces are going to hold true. Like if you look at this relative to like an AMD, well, I wouldn't be celebrating this at all. Yeah, it got to the support level, but notice how you're not seeing the same distinct kind of bounce today. We never regained the 200. You're still down 100, so you're down 1.5% on the session. The market's able to go green. It's not. So I think NVIDIA stands somewhat alone in the group for strength. Some of the memory chips didn't even have a lot of strength here today. But I like the bounce play on NVIDIA. I think at least until we get to 193, I feel good about the long again.
All right. Yeah, I was going to say, hold on a second. I just have a message from Dara here. All right. She said something about Big Bear AI. We'll talk about that in a minute. Thank you, Adara. But yeah, so just, NVIDIA. Right. I was going to say, like, it's in the same, this is the thing. Like, it's starting to get, as President Trump said, I don't get bored or whatever he said there today. I'm getting bored of NVIDIA, but I mean, it's been a good trade if you've been able to find the range on this thing. And that was like, around $200 all the way down to 170 and back upside again. So it's doing it again. And why not? I mean, I think this time's a little different because we are all nervous about overseas. But as we've said, and Neil mentioned there, like, if we can't really worry too much about everything all the time and let the markets set themselves out. And if AI, there's going to be winners. And I just heard Jamie Dimon mention there's going to be one winner in this AI race. I don't know. Whoever that winner is will be powered by NVIDIA chips. I'm almost certain about that. So I like the bids. I like all these things that are down here. And I think you just keep on buying, dips for NVIDIA. And I mean, today was just a fun day to start with. Like, I had no idea that obviously this market was going to take off there today. And now we know, right? Strong Nasdaq equals hella strong NVIDIA. So good to know, right? I mean, we can get on the back now of NVIDIA and watch it go to the high side. The only thing is we have to be very aware that Broadcom, you know, another major player, is stepping into the building. I think it's Wednesday night with their earnings. I have to double check that, but that's going to be something else that we're going to have to talk about coming up. So that could be effect of NVIDIA. And, you know, we've seen NVIDIA make moves higher, then get faded out. So, you know, Broadcom, we'd like to see them obviously hold this 360 area up here. We'll talk about that when it's earnings. But anyways, that's the next kind of play for me on NVIDIA, is to wait for Broadcom and see where that goes for there. Because I don't think it's going to break 170 unless we get something major, obviously, in the world economy here.
You're right. Wednesday after the bell, the conference calls at 5 o'clock for Broadcom. It's going to be a big one.
Should be a mover.
It'll move the market too. That's the thing. It's too big of a component in both the ES and the Nasdaq not to. I think we have at least one more to go. This one's got to be silver. It's got to be.
Maybe.
All right, guys. Yeah, just you're correct, both of you. Broadcom after the bell. Expected move, boys, is 8.7%. Last time it dropped 11.4%. So it certainly moves on earnings. More comments, as Shawn prefaced there, coming from Jamie Dimon, says as follows: government should retain workers in the age of AI. He goes on to add, AI could reduce the work week to 4 days. Ooh. And then AI push won't be a winner-take-all situation. Just some of the commentary there coming from Jamie Dimon. Let's go on to the next topic, or the next name, I should say. SLV down 4 2/3, but holding that $79 area, now into 81. If you don't know, the U.S.-Israel strikes on Iran are causing a spark in the safe haven demand. Somebody should have told silver, because they're still down 4 2/3.
So that's not how it will work. I think.
No, because we get paid by YouTube. I'll take the other side. I think that'd be horrible for the show if we went to 4 days, because it's one less day.
Depends on what the market does. Depends what the market does. I think if the market sticks with the plan of going 23.5, then you will have more people engaged when they have the chance to. Because they want, like, if people are able to have an extra full day where they can be about the markets, I think that would be a positive. This was silver we're talking about next, right?
Sure.
Because I made the assumption, because look, and for those of you that are like, how can he always guess exactly what is coming next? It's just, I cheat. We see this all day long on our visualizer. And so, like, I saw silver up here. I'm pretty sure it might have even been second, but it's third.
Shit.
So I know it's going to be there, and we'll probably talk about Palantir after that. If we haven't done 5. No, but silver, like, the story for this is, regardless of whatever plan you had of action, because we're gapped up, given what happened over the weekend. Hey, you're making a bit of a breakout over the 85 zone. 85, dip and rip. It did bounce. If this was the open, I probably would have had a bounce long and a couple of scalp trades, but this was not the open. This was at 8 o'clock. When we came on air, you were attempting to bounce off 85. By the time we got to the open, you'd already lost that level. There was a huge sell-off on silver and gold in the in the 10 minutes leading into in the 10 minutes leading up to the open. And at that point, it was pretty obvious that you were no longer looking for longs in SLV. It turned into a complete sell-off event. So the whole flipped on its side, market bouncing after the Iran conflict this weekend, and seeing weakness in the metals, that flipped on its head in a big way. Until this can prove it holds a volume-weighted average price over, it's hard not to think about looking for a rollover. And the level to watch isn't even necessarily this 81. I'd venture to say it's here, like 82.5 on SLV. Little afternoon support from Friday, and then go back to Wednesday resistance, which has been a bigger resistance level. So even if it breaks up here, this kind of a reversal makes me think, hey, look to that 82.5. That's the big level I'm watching. Whether we get there today or it just becomes a trading level tomorrow, that's what I'm looking for. It's going to be the 82.5 zone for a fade trade on SLV. Too big of a reverse, catching a lot of traders off guard. I think the best thing that happened was the fact that this move was in the 10 minutes before the opened. Because it made it really easy to just be like, well, yeah, I'm not going long now. That's real easy. It just, if that same move happens at, I don't know, like 9:40 or something, I think by that time it could have caught a few more traders there. So yeah, feel pretty fortunate about that, because I had silver on my note. There was just never a reason to get in.
Yeah, for sure. For me on silver was very, very interesting because we never got the same long availability. So we'll have to wait. I mean, it just started to tank real quick. But just on this note here on gold, like silver right now is down almost 5%, as Neil just showed you guys. So maybe the new shiny object right here is GLD now, and gold up 1.2%. So, you know, I could see the fact that silver is so, not the word manipulated obviously is one that's used, but just more speculative. And I guess easier maybe to manipulate due to its speculative nature and how many people are trading with the ZSL and SLV and all these different names that are trading there. But look at gold, like silver's not near, what was it, 120 I think was that recent high for silver. You're down to 80 bucks. Well, you're just right now an earshot away from gold all-time highs. So I feel a little more comfortable trading gold to the long side right now than I would on silver. So just again, trade something that's trending the way that you think it should, and gold right now should be going higher. And you know, the fact that I thought silver should go higher today means we're reading that one a little wrong. So we'll hold back and see how it trades tomorrow. But silver right now is interesting, right at VWAP. I mean, you're about to take it out. We want to go long on VWAP breaks, and that could be a trade here into the close for sure. We've had some good ones in the power hour on SLV. Okay, we have one more for Sharif. Okay.
Oh, word.
Oh, here we go. Sorry.
Oh, we got a super chat.
Silver arbitrage drag prices up to daylights with East. Oh, well, that's the thing. Yeah. So we do know that there's different prices there. We already had that in Shanghai and out in London and whatnot. And yeah, as we come across or come through to daylight, potentially traders will wake up over there and close that arbitrage gap, which would mean that silver should go up from here if you're trading SLV, I guess, if that's what we're thinking. So. Okay, thanks for the super chat there. We'll have another look and trade a little bit more silver as we go. But let's go over to Sharif and see what he's up to.
More Jamie Dimon comments, guys. This one a bit more bleak. He expects cyber and terror attacks in retaliation for the Iran strikes. Just more of the commentary vis-a-vis Morgan Stanley CEO. Last on the list, boys, Palantir, a stock you guys both know very well, 6%. Wow, what a move up for Palantir as it works its way back into that 150 area. The trade here is pretty simple. The conflict may lead to more AI defense technology spending, which could augment, of course, Palantir's existing contracts and lead to new orders. Palantir, a little off the day, a high day, pardon me, but still up 6%.
But I think that's only half the story. Like, it's easy to forget. Given what happened over the weekend, it's really easy to forget that it's just, well, I wanted to say 24 hours ago, but it was on Friday at about this time, or literally later on in the session, when you had the news that Anthropic got blacklisted, got put into the supply chain risk, which is something it's pretty unprecedented, and that gives a boost. OpenAI was able to pick those DoD contracts up there. That gave a boost to Palantir. So you have that on top of the defense names going to the upside. I think that's why it's holding out a little bit better than some of the defense names, which have pulled back most of this session. So, look, whether you call it a temporary bottom, you know, whatever language you would use for it, this constitutes today a break of the downtrend on Palantir. So, you know, barring some kind of miracle drop of, I don't know, like $8 in the next hours or the next hour and a half, which is not going to happen, Palantir, my opinion, has broken this trend line to the downside. I think that sets it up for a long. If it gets and holds above 146 and a quarter or something like that is this local high in here. So holding above that would be great. I think that sets it up for longs from that level. But you still have to, like, when you do this kind of a trend break, you could easily pull back into 140 and still look pretty valid. Like, that would still be well above last week's highs. So there's a lot of dip that it could do. The 141 looks good. That 146 quarters I was talking about, like in here, is going to be a very, very key level to get above. We rejected it already today, but I think you break that out, and we have a pretty decent gap to fill here for Palantir. And you know, we just can't forget about that news on Friday as well, giving it an extra boost.
So we just stopped out there at the top of the TQs, but we were able to take advantage of a little bit of a dip down into that one. So yeah, unfortunately the short does not hit there, but we got into silver, new position right now. Just had enough of that. It broke through VWAP. Let's just see if it holds it. It's been holding this 50-period moving average since 115. So we'll try it against there and average in at VWAP if it average into the 25. comes down to 81, and then we'll try to respect this 80-75 area and go long over there. We did have Palantir early for a short, and then it just broke and we got out, so there wasn't much happening there. And when we got out, it did fade back, so it was not the greatest out when we made it, but then it just made new highs. It's kind of in that same area that we had thought about it before. The only thing for me now is we're well above everything now. So we're now underneath right here, looking to break through VWAP potentially on the downside. So, looking at, where this is going to go, I agree with Neil. I think we might as well stay long on defense names, and Palantir is one of those names. And if we're going to keep talking about robots and everything and the power of drones and all that and data and, government contracts, well, this is the right space. So Palantir continues to do well in this kind of environment. But look, don't let that door hit you on the way out. I mean, Palantir has no problem just smacking it right back down again. So we'll actually hear what Big Bear AI has to say tonight, see if they have any talk. I mean, I know they're completely different market caps and completely different companies, but we'll wait to see if they talk about what they're looking forward to moving forward for Big Bear AI and see if any of that drip goes over to Palantir tomorrow. So we'll see. I didn't even look to see what Big Bear AI was doing. We did have it move up higher today into 416, 417 there, and now just hovering around. An earnings play today, and Adara just actually put something out on Big Bear AI, so we can, here it is right here. So she's just talking about the AI and defense play is on watch. There we go. And tonight we have Big Bear AI earnings. So here's the quarterly revenues. And I actually showed you guys this before last week just to see if we can sort of break above some of these levels and get going there on Big Bear AI. These are just revenues, so it's not, this is millions of dollars, so just 33 million. Not huge. We're looking to see an EPS turn. So a very similar chart to this, except for the EPS is still negative. We're looking to break through, and if we can do that today on Big Bear AI, then maybe we'll have a little something to talk about tomorrow, and if not, then we'll say Crimea River, and we'll figure that all out. Today we had Norwegian Cruise Lines this morning in the pre-market Berkshire. We talked a little bit about them. We can have a quick look at Berkshire in a couple of minutes. Plug, Mongo, all right, not much else. Riot
ASTS.
there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, names that people would like for sure. QUBT, we saw some quantum names last week. MongoDB, software name. Plug Power, as long as you're still doing some charging, that would make sense. Archer Aviation name again. So, yeah, there's some stuff here coming tonight. But the big name, I think we just talked about it there with well, not the big one, but the one that a lot of us are interested in, Big Bear AI. Not, all those names are very, very small on the market cap side. We have biggest market cap name coming this week is Broadcom.
Yeah,
but we are also looking for CrowdStrike. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, Costco, another one with a pretty big market cap that'll be coming later this week, Thursday after the close. Let's talk about hims and hers, though, HIMS. Nice push up for this one. So what happened here was over the weekend on the Joe Rogan podcast, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., or RFK Jr., saying that several peptide compounds will be added to a different FDA approval list. So, of course, compounds, a lot of what HIMS does. Nice push higher for the stock. Back to you.
I saw a video of RFK. Like he was
doing chin-ups or something?
Well, no, he was posting a workout. He was doing like a leg press in jeans.
Yeah. He likes to show off.
And yeah, but he was doing leg press in jeans, and his range of motion was like ego lifting range. Like it couldn't have been a smaller. And look, he's an older dude.
Yeah.
So I'm not hating. I hope I'm in the gym and I'm in as good shape as he is. But I mean, the range of motion was certainly lacking. I have no idea if he has like some kind of restrictions. He's got, what is he, in the 60s or something? Whatever.
Yeah. I think he's probably mid 60s.
I was like, bro, take a few plates off and get a little bit more depth and range of motion is what you're supposed to do. Ain't about that ego lift. I think we're going to Adara with some news.
Plates off.
When he's 72, I looked it up. For 2, have you guys seen the Kid Rock workout? Because that's fun. And for 3, here's the news. Business Insider reporting here that Amazon is halting its e-commerce operations in Abu Dhabi. So we know there was that UAE situation here with AMZN. In the Iran attacks, Amazon halting e-commerce operations in Abu Dhabi. That was just announced. Again, guys, yeah, that's the Kid Rock and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. workout. Back to you.
I feel like I don't want to watch that.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right, at some point I will. Just to go back to a couple of things. If CCL gets to VWAP, that's where I'm looking for the out. It's just a trend break. Here, it's easier to see if I zoom. So the trend break from the volume weighted average price and looking for it to get to get back to the volume weighted average price. Now, QBTS, I'm not feeling for a reload. not moving enough. It was moving a bit more this morning. It already bounced off the volume weighted average price, and it's now not doing anything. And there is this. It was TNT.
TNT?
TENT. No, it wasn't TNT. I gotta look up the symbol again. Shoot, it's gonna bug me. It was that penny stock. The dollar one, TPET. That's the one. I know that one. TPET. I know Sharif was looking at this. It's one of these energy names that has been flying around, which there was Indo this morning and a few others, but TPET, instead of breaking down at 95 cents, it's actually held the dollar level, but it's still on my radar. If this loses 95, I still want to break down here. I sat here with a flat bottom break order for pretty much the entirety of the midday, and it just wouldn't go. But it's not far enough from VWAP that I wouldn't try this one on the sell side. As market continues to go higher, dip buyer, I'm loving the fact that Netflix is going. I think we have a chance to see that $100 level. This works in a lot of ways. You get the market rally, right, which is already strong. This was already bouncing after Warner Brothers went to the Paramount Skydance deal at $31. So I think that's another positive. Market seeing that as a positive as well. So before this gets into the highs, it's holding. I can pull up a trend line to make it easier and then go back to the 3 minutes. So I can pop this on here, and then when I go pop it. You can see that lines up with our dip at the open, all-day trend into about 97.2. So if it holds this trend line, I think this is a play into the highs. Good look for Netflix. And I think the theme here is whether the market was going to rally or not, this felt like it was along anyways going into today, which I prefer that for any longs this afternoon as opposed to the things that surprised you by being longs in the morning.
So, I mean, I clearly have no idea what I'm doing. I mean, silver just keeps on going to the downside there, as I thought maybe a break of VWAP would be something, and we're going to get out on that 50-period break, so we're very, very close right now to getting stopped out. But I honestly thought silver had a chance to get going here in the afternoon. We've seen it make moves, and I just thought that there was going to be one there once we broke VWAP and got going back there to the upside, but it looks like it's trying to go opposite of whatever I'm trying to do and go to the downside right now. So we've averaged into silver. If it breaks 10 more cents, man, we're going to get out, and we're not going to just watch this thing continue to bleed. We've taken a shot. I thought, there it goes. There it goes. I thought we'd have a chance to hold that, and it looks like we didn't. So we'll take one there, take one there, take one there, and then lose it on the end. And hopefully that doesn't blast too much higher back to the upside, because then we'll feel pretty bad about that one. And yeah, nothing seems to be wanting to work out. There's that stop there. That's not really doing anything on the futures. Tried to make a move there on silver, and yeah, just didn't hit out. Maybe I'd like to see like more volume to know that might have been the low there, because I don't mind getting it back in. It's just, that hit. I think our average price, well, we got 88, we got, I don't even know what it was. Oh, don't tell me now. It's going to do this move back up to the upside. All right, maybe we'll, and I don't want to revenge trade this. So, let's just try to get a little bit more back in just against that low. And that's it, right? So let's not pound it right back in there. That's $80.60. I mean, it kind of matches with that low, yeah, but I don't want to be like, oh, this is it, and think that we're going back up to the upside, because we would need a nice move here. $80.65 bottom. So where are we long? So 30 cents. So let's see if we can get this just going back up the upside here and give us a little bit of something to talk about if it does go. Yeah, too bad. See, again, man, we just get stopped out where we do, and now it wants to get a little higher. All right, let's see if maybe that was that. So we get stopped out where we wanted to, but it looks like we picked the wrong price there, as now silver. Oh, I was hearing something there, but I am not. Okay, so 81.05 or so right there for silver was the high. So I'm waiting at 81.08. See if we can get a little piece there, 15 cents or so. I'm not sure what my average price was, man. I wish I would have seen that. Not that we have to make back exactly what we lost, but we'd like to make something back on silver. So let's get out in 08 there, right where literally where that 25 period is. These lines can't be that good to matter that much, but okay, well, hopefully it comes back up to the upside. There's the drop down. It does go a little lower, so we're going to use that as our fill, and hopefully we'll be able to take that at 81. I'm at 08, so a little bit of a bump up there on silver. We'll be able to take something out right now. I thought I heard something about Elon Musk.
I did, but you know what? The news in the ear just is like half the volume. I just double checked to make sure my volume was all the way up there.
I mean, we are waiting for the SpaceX IPO.
I heard something about SpaceX
in
my ear just now, but I haven't seen them post the story. And realistically, if there was something crazy going on, then I guess like Destiny would be moving, right? And Destiny's not even moving a little bit here. DXYZ. On Friday, excuse me, on Friday when there was actual news, you could see that fly around.
Yeah.
So if there was something, we'd probably see this move a little bit more than it is. There was something I wanted to get to. There was a halt just now on another penny stock. Worth watching because it might break this dollar, this STAK. I don't know if Sharif was on this one in the middle of the day. I don't recall hearing it, and not one that I was looking at. It's STAK. I guess this is probably another oil and gas play. Is this another one? Not even sure. Like almost every small capper that's going ham today is some kind of an energy play. So here's another one, STAK. Halted to the upside at 98 cents or so, and it's got a very small float of 800,000. 800,000 float. 150 million shares already done today for this penny stock with a chance to break the dollar level. Oh, the good news is that it's halted to the upside. The bad news is the tap is 78 cents.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Well, that's not good.
What did it close at?
What? So it halted at 97 cents. I hope nobody, if you're caught long in this, I shouldn't be laughing. It's indicating an open of 78 cents. You don't really see that very often. It's not often that you see a stock break out the high of the day, go into a halt, and then open up back where it was, a few minutes before. So that would be pretty ugly if it were to open at this 80 cents, but there's still a little bit of time. Let's go back to Adair at the desk.
Boeing on watch here, guys. BA, you could potentially look at GE as well because of the specificity of this issue, but FAA, Federal Aviation Authority, issuing a ground stop after a UAL Boeing 787 returns to Los Angeles following an engine issue. So BA and UAL, United Airlines, all on watch here. Again, the story, Federal Aviation Authority reporting that they have issued a ground stop after the United Airlines Boeing 787 is returned to LA following an engine issue. Comments as well coming here from Foreign Minister of Iran saying that apparently Tehran is not at war with regional countries, and apparently also Iranian hacking groups falling. So we've got less hacking groups in Iran. Iran apparently not in war here with regional countries or nearby countries. They're also saying, they're saying to State TV, the Foreign Minister of Iran, that killing Supreme Leader was a, quote, religious crime that will have serious consequences. Back to you.
I mean, that's the thing, right?
Well, that's pretty harsh language.
There are lots of consequences that I think are going to be the fallout of what we've seen. So we're just going to be patient, including, we've seen the move in oil prices there. And we saw a lot of, even here in Toronto, we've seen, many protesters of the Iranian. Yeah, they're actually protesting for peace. In Iran and supporting the people there, as some of that regime just continues to be pretty brutal against some of those protesters from what we see. Now,
I don't think it's just what we
media,
see.
right?
It's demonstrably true.
Yeah. So, anyways, we'll wait, and hopefully they just get it all figured out, man. I mean, everybody I think wants is peace, anyways, and how you get there seems to be not very peaceful, but that's always sort of been the story.
That's human history.
History goes on, right?
There's no peace for short sellers in Circle.
What? Another 15%.
15% and still undefeated. We got to hit this for Circle. Like, if there's a stock that wins the day, that's not one of these. Don't at me with one of those penny stocks that's up like 200%. I get it. They're all up way more, and it's not always about the biggest percentage move. No, I got to feel like Circle gets the square. In that particular case. This is a breakout on the daily chart. I absolutely was not one of those people that would have seen this coming. I'm pretty sure, I know last week I looked at this as a resistance spot. Thank goodness. This is the kind of day where you have something like this come unexpectedly into a resistance level, and at least it didn't flash a sell signal. You couldn't have even got trapped in this because there was no reason to even look short at this price. It just blew right through in the cleanest way possible. The Circle's on one. The shorts are definitely out of control. And Dylan, you said you were not going to buy even if it comes to single digits. Did I say that about Circle? I was that harsh about it? Really? Okay, I don't know if I I don't know if I could have said that about Circle. I wouldn't buy Circle even if it was single digits. That doesn't feel right. I don't think I would have said that because it's a $90 stock. I definitely said I'm not a fan of Circle, but come on, if it got to single digits, I probably would have been a buyer. Because I think there's a dead cat bounce everywhere. What's the recent one? I've even said at some point, if I see AMC do the Wick shimmy at $1, that's worth a shot. I bet you that's going to happen this quarter. Maybe, where is AMC? It was at $1.15. AMC was at $1.15 last week.
They reported.
And they didn't do anything on the report. No, but the stock is trash. Don't get me wrong. Easy. But look at it easing into that $1 level. I could see that whole fake break of $1, hold 90 or 95 cents, grab the 01 to 05 long, stop under 90 cents, and one of these stupid rallies where you get to $1.50 and you take your 50-cent win or whatever, 50%, risking 10 to 15. That setup's there. There's always a dead cat bounce every now and then, and that's getting interesting for it. But the only time I'll even look at it is when it does something like that. Because that's a dead stock. But I find it hard to believe I would have been that harsh on Circle. It's a $90 stock. If that thing got underneath $10, come on.
I don't know. If that person's a Circle shareholder, maybe they took offense to it at that time, but
there's no way I said
yeah, what's up with Battalion right here? Battalion Oil, we keep seeing people in the chat, thank you for mentioning it here, up 109%, and we had sort of talked about Indo and some of these other names, but I don't know, Adair, if there was individual news or not on BATL, but there's the break higher.
I didn't see any.
Yeah, so yeah, I didn't figure that there was too much here. If we go into details, I'm going to assume this is a short float stock there. We can probably try to find some information on this one. Yeah, short float of 30%. Wow, the float is only 3.5 million shares. I'm not even going to look to see how much they've done here today. There's an oil, I'm just going to read this. There's an independent energy company focused on the acquisition, production, exploration, deployment, onshore liquid-rich oils, U.S.'s properties and drilling, Delaware Basin. So I'm not really seeing anything about potentially operating in the Mideast or anything like that, but there's a nice upside play in the space.
I'd be scared for holding those. They do.
Oh, I wouldn't hold.
They do this when we get shocks.
Yeah,
these small cap, high short float, low float energy names get these rallies in them because there's probably shorts that have been working. You get a mini squeeze. They tend to come back. Indo gave up 100% of its move today. It went from up 50% or whatever it is to up 1.5%. So I don't know that Battalion was doing the same thing and then just caught a rally. So probably some shorts got overconfident and they're now getting blown out. But I wouldn't be too jazzed about paying too much for any of these. Doggo in the chat. Good question. I'm gonna do it this way instead of flashing it on the screen for you. It'll be faster. How do y'all? What up, y'all?
What's up, y'all?
Come up with the trade ideas. Is it a scanner for news, a daily volume, anything?
What up, y'all?
So in the mornings, it's pretty simple. We get Dara does a watch list every morning. Shreve has his notes. Most of the idea generation comes from those things that are in play. Might also be some stocks that were in play from previous days that are at some pretty big levels. But that's where everything starts for me. And then intraday, yeah, it's news and scanners. Whether you're looking at intraday news or you could, eSignal has some good scans here that I'll throw up there. I would just go into, you can go into any of your tools and there's a hot list on eSignal, which I just realized my trade rate must have closed at some point. Oh no, I just opened a second one. Anyways, I did already have it open. I thought I had closed it. Oh, I can look at the trade rate and intraday. You can see what's doing abnormal volume in the moment. I like the trade rate for that. It's not necessarily going to be things that are breaking out, but it'll say CRM and Trade Desk, NVIDIA are doing a little bit extra volume. It doesn't mean there's anything crazy happening on it, but it just spiked a little bit. So this one's not really doing much. You just look for anything that's a trading opportunity. It could be at a key price level. That could be it. It could be a trend. Netflix, I think, is more of a continuation play from Friday. And there is, where'd my trend line go? I'll just do that again. If we go from this double bottom, it's holding a bit of a trend, I wanted to buy back into that trend, but it's a continuation from the story on Friday. So this was in play on Friday, and then give it a couple of days to remain in play after the Warner Brothers Discovery news. Oh, I missed a really obvious trade on Warner Brothers that I hate myself for. It did the patented consolidation break this morning that usually works out pretty well. It was so clean too, but at 10:20, just got so caught up looking at other stuff. This was foolish not to grab. Because Warner Brothers is trading so far underneath fair value, like I'm going to look for long setups that I can just be in. Whether it's like, because I was in a double bottom on Friday, and it gave you a long setup at VWAP, which was absolutely gorgeous. But it's a $31 deal. It's supposed to close. I haven't seen anything that says they're not still trying to close that this year. So like right now you're sitting, it's like 10%, just underneath 10%. I mean, come on. Do we really not think they can close this? That's what they're telling you. So I will look for long setups in WBD every day.
What's up to Trader S, bless you, SIOX Trader 6, right here. You know, but that's the thing, right? I mean, I'm trying to do the same thing, and I responded to you as well and said, yeah, but I just keep getting stopped out. Like, I agree. I'm getting stopped out of what trades that I believe to be good trades, and I don't, you know, I don't know where. Like, I've shorted the breaks there right into here. That worked. We're starting to maybe break a little lower right now. Could think about getting a short, and you know, it would just be against 50-15. I mean, war equals uncertainty, and you know, I would have thought today. It's just funny because I told you, like over the weekend, man, I had some dads and whatnot come up to me because they know the business, and it's like Trader TV sponsors the hockey team, but you know, so it's just like they're like, wow, okay, get ready for Monday type of thing, and I was like. Doesn't mean necessarily the market's going down. You know, some of these things. I said, if anything, I'm more concerned about the Citrini report there and what that means for some of the names that I hold, rather than what this market move is here for the Nasdaq or the S&P 500. I told them, you know, oil and things like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the market today, upside, up 0.3, and started off pretty decently low. I mean, we were down over 1% on both these markets when the day opened up. And all we did was shoot higher here, just showing like there's a lot of support for U.S. capital and equity and everything like that. So here we go, man. And maybe this is the one that needs to fall down, maybe silver. We've been taking some profit outside here on VWAP there, as we haven't been able to break through it. That's my next sort of area to be concerned about. But again, like I feel like this is a good trade long and just not popping. So we'll make back a little bit of what we lost there, but not everything, as we wait to see if silver wants to go through. It doesn't really look like it right now. Oh man, should I short this, guys? What do you think, Trader 6 and everybody else that's out there, man? Maybe after market movement, he's saying there in the chat. I don't know what's going to happen after market. But for right now, it's 3 o'clock, so it is power hour. We are waiting to see if there's going to be some sort of a decent move happening right here. It looks like the market's trying to fade out a little bit now. We can go short against the highs. It's just a matter of being safe with how many shares we're using to make sure we capture a decent move without getting stopped out if the pullback is real back there to the downside. Let's let silver sort itself out a little bit here. Hopefully we can regain VWAP and then get back up to the upside. That's kind of the trade. Or we'll wait to see if it breaks that low and then get the heck out of there on SLV. So that's what I'm looking to do now, and just debating shorting those Qs, but there's not much I can do here if we don't get it. And what's up, Oleg there? Yeah, the 3-day rule is something that I've always followed, and then I asked, we used to have a guy on here, the Stock Godfather. I mentioned it to him, and he's like, that sounds like a great idea and something that he likes to use as well. So, hi guys, the 3-day rule works when stock's up after catalyst. It doesn't, it's just a 3-day rule. I like to use it on earnings, but I guess you could probably use it on catalysts.
I think you could use it like, you know, sometimes you'll get a big move when Apple might have an event, right? So like they could have their event.
Or like the CrowdStrike gets hit on.
The CrowdStrike breach news.
I was thinking about the Citrini report.
Well, that too. Like it's a short seller report. There's anything that causes an abnormal volume spike or volatility that's clearly stands out. Like think of it this way: if Brian Shannon would slap an anchored VWAP on it because of the event, then it's like letting it settle down for a couple of days. But I apply that mostly to the longer time frame play. Like I don't like that's not the attitude for day trading, because oftentimes you want to day trade the thing that's going crazy. A lot of times, but that's more for like looking at it in the long term. Like the example, like the more times, and again, I'll use the example just because it's a stock that I own that happened today. Right? Like I got a lot of questions about this, and I said in the middle of the day, like my reason for getting into AV was this hold of the 200 period at the beginning of the year, and this was my out. It managed to work well the first time. It managed to bounce off that level a second time. Even a third time it bounced off that level. It broke that level today. So I'm out of that sucker because it broke my support. And look at the volume on this. So does this stand out as something this now would qualify for like a 3-day rule? Do I want that? It just lost support today on monster volume on a huge reversal. This is a big time wait and see. Like I need to at least give it 3 days or get to some other big key level, which would be down here at about 180 bucks. For sure. By the way, I just got out of QBTS at VWAP, D-Wave, just bounced VWAP. But I'm actually about to get stopped out of CCL. So because that just bounced right back. So this could get back through the entry. Didn't quite get to the volume weighted average price, but it's about to break through our entry. Forget about the trend line. I'm not going to give it to the trend line just because that's where I got in. But a couple more cents, I'll be out of this, looking for the next opportunity.
All right, guys, volatility, talk about opportunity, that creates movement. And for sophisticated traders, movement creates opportunity. Beta Pro by Global X offers Canada's first and longest running suite of levered and inverse levered ETFs, built for sophisticated investors who understand the risks of leverage and the importance of precision. Its triple levered bull and bear ETFs are tied to the Nasdaq 100 index and are designed for daily tactical trades, providing amplified daily exposure and giving traders tools to engage with both upward and downward momentum pullbacks in the market. These strategies are currency hedge, seeking to offset US dollar exposure back to the Canadian dollar. For those navigating short-term market moves up or down, Beta Pro offers the flexibility to act with conviction, whatever that looks like for your individual strategy, objectives, and risk profile. Trade tactically and learn more at betapro.ca. And thank you for their continued sponsorship of the program. And of course, triple levered, I used it, you were using ZSL for a minute there. I think that's only double, but we also have TQQs as a product there as well. And for those Canadian traders, check them out over at Beta Pro Global X. All right, so nice move higher there. We actually got to 81.20. Of course, I'm at 81.23 because as I was doing that, I did not adjust where my stop would or where that VWAP is now. So right there, I was at 81.23. Believe it or not, it went to 21.50s. So now we'll see if we can get another offer. I'm gonna sit at 17. See if we can get something basically right at VWAP there. Hopefully, just 2 more cents and it won't feel so bad. That was hilarious. Oh man, it just went to 16 and then dropped to 02s there. That's so crazy. Okay, guys, trust me, like the way this is acting and the way I'm acting, it's like I'm sitting there with millions of shares. Like, no idea why that bounced off me twice there, but hopefully that's just bad luck and we do get going back there, back up to the upside on silver because trust me, man, I'm sitting there with 100 shares or something. It should not be bouncing off me like that. So that just bounced. Here it goes again. Oh. Is it going upside there? Oh, trying to go. No, who knows? Silver acting all kind of ways right now. So here we go. Let's see what happens now with SLV. Kind of made a move higher, now move lower. Maybe we get a little piece out here. I don't even know what's going on.
That's an interesting JKL Toddler Premium Hunter. Trying to figure out what that might mean. Gold looks stronger than silver. You know what? That makes some logic. That makes some logical sense.
What was that? Oh,
gold looks stronger.
Yes, man, we've already talked about that, and then that's
look a little stronger.
My stupid.
What about the miners though?
High. Yeah, look, that was 100% right. I even said today gold was a better trade for me. Okay, there we go. We get silver. It's all good. But we just got 17s there. But now, right now, I agree with you. I think that's a smart statement to make and probably something to get into rather than this silver trade. But I'm gonna just watch out for silver. I've been trading it, so I don't actually ever put on GLD positions. I do own some in the long-term portfolio myself, but I've had some really great experiences trading SLV. So I'm gonna sit in here and watch that. Like I said,
something's going on here.
The biggest hymns.
No,
oil.
Oil's moving up.
That's why I
coming back in. Something.
That's why I just saw like
something hit the wire.
Silver going crazy there. So, oh shit! Come on, man. Oh, I just looked at the futures. Sick, guys. Honestly, man. Great call. What am I supposed to do? Like, we were just saying there to Trader 6, like, that was, I was too busy watching that silver to see this move.
There's some rumors here saying that Revolutionary Guards commander says Strait of Hormuz is closed. Iran set on fire any ship trying to pass. This is coming from the Iranian media. So that would probably explain the spike down in the futures and then the spike up in all of the oil names here for sure. So yeah, again, I'm just seeing that on X. I can't really give you any firm sources for that. It's just saying Iranian news there.
Yeah, that's you know, this is the true part, right? I mean, here it is right here. What's up to is this Thanos again? I don't know, this is somebody else, but yeah, that's what happens when you blah, 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 and don't pay attention. I mean, 100%. I was talking about this trade, and that's honestly my, you know, that's the thing. Like, I understand that I am sitting here as a host, but for me, trading is actually, you know, part of, like, that's, I'm here to trade. I mean, the show is great, and we want to educate and do all of that, but like, I was talking about that trade, man. We were in that numerous times, and just and we were talking about that with Trader 6. So I'm just glad we talked about it. Look, I missed it, fine. Like, I'm here every single day throwing a lot of shares at this thing. So I'll be back, and no problem. But at least it was there. We saw it, and there goes the downside play. I think, you know, realistically, instead of just waiting and getting stopped out there, we had one good play stopped out and then stopped out again. I was gonna say, like, maybe in and around here somewhere was the play, right? I mean, breaking down, getting that confirmation on the break right there. But that's, again, hindsight, you know, I don't. So anyways, nice move to the downside. Congratulations those that caught it. And it's not like we're just sitting here crying over spilt milk, which we are doing. But there it is right there, man. We're gonna put the money in our pocket anyways with silver. It just could have been money times 2. And that's always good. So there's a little out there at 20s. So that looks like that'll play. And now we'll just wait to see if silver wants to go high side right now, as it looks like tensions may be escalating there. Damn it, missed opportunity, but all right, we'll be back. Let's see if silver wants to go upside. Looking to take out its highs right now of the afternoon, and that would be 81.30s or so. So let's go, man, and see if we get it. All right, I'll take an offer there at 28 if we can get that. I'm just trying to piece this out a little bit because this is a story and the market's now starting to go a little bit. We definitely want to take advantage of this in case there is some sort of a reversal or something. But darn it, man.
There's a few more sources reporting this story now on you're seeing. I just noticed that Adira's not sitting there. That's why she probably didn't chime in. But this is looking a little bit more confirmed. I had just gotten stopped out of that CCL at entry price, so I'm gonna go. I just jumped back in. I'm looking for the same move, right back into the volume weighted average price. So it is relatively confirmed. Advisor to the commander of IRGC, the Strait of Hormuz, is closed, and we will target any ship. This is Iran, not us, that attempts to pass through. We're on to set any ship trying to pass on fire.
Look at oil.
Obviously, this is going to cause pretty big supply shock. And then keep in mind, the longer that this draws out, don't be rude. If this draws out long enough, if they run out of capacity to store, that's where you'd get a real spike in oil prices. Not just closing down the strait, but if they have to start shutting down because they run out of storage in a few weeks, that would be a whole other story for some of your energy names. So you're probably looking pretty good here on Chevron and. I love me some Chevron. That's back to view up. All these energy names have been bouncing back after this. You can probably watch Indo's probably running. That TPET, which is that penny stock one, I kind of thought maybe you'd see a spike in one of these small ones, but it's not really happening, so get away from that. But it's just jumping right back into CCL. Like, is what it is. I just got stopped out. That headline hits, and now it's back headed to VWAP where it was before. So hopefully this will just jump right back in for us. It was a huge reversal off the highs here for there we go, the Qs, as you guys can see. So you just had to jump back in the short after that headline. Oh, BATL is the small cap oil name that's going. There you go. I figure one of these would have to actually be running. Looks like it's Battle and not TPET, or whatever these guys are calling themselves. Yeah, so again, pretty big story coming out of the Strait of Hormuz there, as you guys can see. On the front of your screen. You never really know. We're going to be keeping our ear to the ground. It's going to be like this for a while. Like a single headline can turn the market, and you have no idea the timing of it. That could have hit at any moment. Hey, look at that. All of our screens up there.
Yeah.
Showing off.
Yeah, look, I mean, that trade could have hit at any moment, but honestly, man, all the traders out there, and that's why I keep commenting to you guys in the chat, like, that was a good setup. We'll go over that. But look at oil, though, man. Oops, CL, I was just looking at that myself here. Oil just absolutely ripping right now, up 8%. We just got off from 71 bucks up to 72.40. There's a report that there's no more ships anyways. Iran has lost 13 ships or something, all now at the bottom of the ocean, according to President Trump. So we'll have to wait to see exactly where that goes. And with all the shale and everything happening in the United States, I don't think they're that worried about sort of global oil prices right now. They just took 80 million barrels or whatever it was from Venezuela. Venezuela is actually the world's largest oil deposit, and the United States is running that country. So
they're years away from getting it capacity back to where it was.
Oh yeah, no, but they can take it out and bring it up. So I think that's what they're going to do. That's why you see stocks like Valero right now absolutely ripping as you get refiners starting to go. There's Valero today up 5+ percentage points. So yeah, wow. So Valero's another name. I used to own this stock. I don't think I do anymore. I'm gonna have to double check on the portfolio. That's been an absolute monster. And I said this morning, the futures, that's gonna bug me. XLE though, you know, that was my play and a pretty safe one. I feel like you can get, you get exposure to XOM in here, CVX and Valero, all the names all wrapped into one. But
someone was ugly weak today for some reason.
As Neil mentioned, you do get more of an oomph in those names like Battle or Endo, or now look at some of those
aren't
shipping
investments,
names.
man.
No,
like, those things are like, have fun when there's this volatility, but in the long run, you'd probably rather hold a Chevron or an XLE over Battle. No one wants to be invested in that thing for long term.
You wouldn't think so.
Let's go to Adair. We've got some more news.
Yeah, again, guys, sorry, I was in the washroom when that story broke, but we do have, once again, those reports from Iranian state media that, according to the commander of the Iran Revolutionary Guards, Strait of Hormuz is closed and Iran will set any ships that are trying to pass on fire. Furthermore, just be aware here, not sure if this is going to be market moving at all, but we do have First Lady of the U.S., Melania Trump, presiding over the UN Security Council right now. It looks like a representative from Iran is there. So if there's anything of note from that, I'll let you know. Back to you.
Yeah, it looks like that Indo stock did go. I know I was complaining that small capper, well, the small capper I was looking at wasn't making moves, but INDO did get off the lows a little bit. It was that TPET that I thought could do what Battle was doing, which was take out this little consolidative high. If oil continues to go, I don't see why you couldn't at least get a bit of a squeeze. It's holding the dollar level, has support at 95. It's just not breaking this 115. So, yeah, that might not be the one, unfortunately. It is BATL. That looks like it's by far the strongest. But there's no way that I want to chase that, not by a long shot. That's just too far to chase. What's Bitcoin doing here in all of this?
Maybe not much.
Actually, you're right. Not much is the word. Flat out not moving. It's just sitting at 68K, 68.8. So just under the 69. Not really breaking all that much. Chilling, more or less. The market's starting to bounce back a little bit. So I guess maybe they don't want to panic too much over that headline, because the Nasdaq screaming off the volume weighted average price here. Let's see if it does a little bit of a rollover after that scream. Puts in a higher low, or lower high, I should say, and a chance to reload.
Yeah, damn it, man. Okay, that's a tough one for your boy, but we'll just get onto that and move on to the next. I'm gonna try Tesla. Tesla moved right into 400. Oops, that's still the TQs. Tesla moved right into 400 and we missed it, and it bounced cleanly there off VWAP. So I'm gonna try along back up on Tesla, because we had seen Tesla was kind of cruising there, and again, that looks like a decent short, but I think it can get back up here. And if it does, man, 401, 402, it looks like it's gonna work out mathematically. I mean, we do want to get a lower bid before we actually put on some decent shares. So I'm actually pretty much right where that bottom wick was. If we're able to get something around 399, then fine, but I will put on a position here, see if we can make about $1 or so on this back upside, and then that would be in and around there, 401, and then we'll discuss it after that. But right now, Tesla, trying to make it backside. You know what, I'll take a little bit out, just stop that 35s there. We'll offer 35, see if we do get that, and then if it blasts higher, let's hold on. Maybe we do get a complete retracement back up, and then the 1-to-1 will make more sense, and we can hold on for a little bit of a bigger move there on Tesla. And we don't want to be too cute with it, right? Because we've already got the long on silver right now, and we have a decent position there. That's really starting to work out for us. So let's not, throw good money after bad here, and vice versa, and figure that out with this recent move. So there's $400.30 is that little bottom there. So we'll see if we can get out. It looks like we almost got that fill. I'm at 35 cents. Like, if we can't get that, that'd be crazy. It just went to 30s, but hopefully we do get an upside move. Adara, more story?
I want to let you guys know here, implied moves after the bell. Tons of companies reporting after the bell. CRDO also reporting, though I didn't find an expected move on them when I made this. It's worth noting, though, all these companies, this is the first time I've seen this in a while, have expected moves of at least 10%. Largest here is going to be MDB, MongoDB. This one can pop and drop to massive degrees. So keep an eye on MongoDB, ETA, 4:05 p.m. alongside QUBT. Second largest expected move goes to Big Bear AI, one of Shawn's picks for the year and one of Shawn's favorites. 4:15 p.m. expected move of just under 15%. Third place, Plug Power, right off the gate, 4 p.m. Eastern. Expected release time, 14% expected move. Tons of these are going to be on watch here today, guys. So make sure to get a look at these expected moves on X at TTV Research. Back to you.
I've tweeted that out, so thanks to Dara. Yeah, go over on TTV Research on X, Hyundai P for that one. Now goes. Money. Like I said, man, I'm not going to stop. Like, we can get upset or whatever about missing that short. It's just more for show, but honestly, I am upset about missing it right there. Let's just make sure we take some advantage on Tesla. Again, it just went into almost 401 and stopped again. So we're going to put an offer up there and see if we can get that. But there goes Tesla right now, trying to make a move back to the downside here. We're going to try it again. If we can get something down there around 99s, we'll try it. But upside right now for Tesla, I want to make sure we have something left just in case we go Rip City on that one. And then we'll throw it back to Neil. But right now, silver did make another move higher. We did take another piece out right there at 20s. Just stopped again. Now it's coming back. This looks like it wants to break. Potentially no reloads on this name anymore. You know, thought it would have kept going there. It did. We did. We cashed out. So we still have a piece, though. We're going to wait to see what happens with silver as it's pulling back just a little bit.
Yeah, so I did get the reload in CCL, but I was just talking about that BATL stock for everybody.
Silver again.
And unfortunately, it's now halted to the downside. So it halted down a couple of minutes ago, should open up, and actually 1 minute, so 4 minutes ago it halted down, volatility halt. That puts this TPET back into play for me. This one did not even rally when we had that oil spike. So the fact that these are reversing, 95 break is back in play on TPET, and I'm actually thinking about just if it retakes the $1 level, getting in a little bit early. So I'll probably put this if it breaks the $1 level, just get in, and then add if we break the 95 on TPT, looking pretty nasty. And went after battle, halted to the downside. So yeah, again, those are the ones that I'm kind of looking at. Did reload for the third time in CCL. First 2 times good. The third time, this last reload is breaking back above the high. So the market's going back and forth. We were able to get a 25-cent scalp on the last trade, but I'm not going to let this one start making some fresh highs on me. It couldn't break 29 even on the short anyways, so you're really just getting that 1% move out of that each time. So my eyeballs are on TPET. The only way I don't short this if it breaks $1 is if for some reason battle opens up and starts squeezing. Because I'm looking at that battle halt down and wanted to take one of these, I'm just calling them small cap energy names that are small cap, low float, whatever it might be. If they all start unwinding, this is the one that I like the best because it just was not rallying a little bit earlier. Lemon family, good question here. Well, with the trouble in the Middle East, travel stocks might be the swing trades as they won't be traveling over there with fuel and hard to travel. I think that can be one way of looking at it. Like usually these kind of things linger for a bit, but it's not always that simple. But the reason I like this morning when I liked NCLH, part of the reason I liked the NCLH short actually had more to do with the fact that they reported and missed on guidance. So I was like, well, regardless of what happens to the travel space, these guys had disappointing guidance to lean back on, and that's why I think they're down 10, and some of the other names are, CCL is down like 7 points. These guys are down 10. But it's not always that simple. Because there's been an anticipation of this for, I don't know, a few weeks now. And when people have been anticipating something and it shouldn't come too much of a surprise, most of what's happening. Maybe it's happening faster than expected, but I don't think this is completely out of the blue, so you have to figure some of it was priced in. So I'd prefer to look at maybe a travel name that was already weak for other reasons, as opposed to just blindly thinking that they're all going to die.
Yeah, don't, especially when you have earnings. We had earnings there today with some of those travel names. You can check out the Jets ETF for planes. Yeah, so Tesla, man, I mean, we were just like getting excited there. Tesla popped pretty good, man. We got 401.20s there, or 401.25, whatever that price action happens to be there. So yeah, pretty happy with the trading there on Tesla, but it's coming back in. So be careful. That's why you want to take some out on the way up. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye on Eli Lilly trying to bounce off the lows here. CEO of Eli Lilly saying that they're O4-glyperon treatment can be shipped to customers and patients within about a week after its FDA approval. Furthermore, saying that the O4-glyperon pill could reach the U.S. market as early as Q2 2025. This is coming through from a TD Cowen conference, so they're expecting FDA approval in April. By that point, they can ship it in roughly a week. So again, looks like by the end of the first half of the year, so within H1 2026, Eli Lilly going to be able to send out this orforglipron pill. Nice look for LLY or Eli Lilly. Let's also talk here about Iran once again, because IRGC advisors saying Iran will not be allowing oil to leave the region, as reported by Iran State TV. Back to you.
Yeah, I heard that, Iran? Okay, yeah, so I don't know if they're letting silver leave the region or not, but a shout out to my good friend Wendy's Tendies there in the chat and said that I was getting frustrated with silver, and you are correct. If that's on your bingo card, I am getting frustrated with it, but no more right now, as we're going to see if we can put something special together now as we go back up to the upside right now on SLV. The only thing that I'm thinking about getting a little, upset about is Tesla, and I'm, again, not upset. We just took another piece out there at 40s, and it's been a good trade, but I'm just going to piece this out as it doesn't look like the market really wants to respect the move higher, and therefore move lower coming for Tesla. So still waiting to see. I'm actually canceling that reload there. We'll see if we can get something and then stop out if we do wind up breaking view up of 399 and change. I might not even do anything else on this. We'll just let the money sort of come through on the silver trade now. We've already made money on that Tesla move, but not really worth putting a whole bunch of effort into this right now. We caught the move back up. We could even almost stop out right now for flat. I mean, it's a pretty key area right there. 399, what is that view up? All right, that's not going to give us that much. That little area, 399.20. All right, I'm going to put a bid now, 399.20. If that comes in, fine. We'll take it, and then we'll give her a go, and we'll stop out. I'm just put the stop out right here for you with you guys. That's, okay, basically a break of 80, whereas VWAP, so we'll cancel that and just go 398, 79. We'll put an offer there, and then we'll see if that has any sort of a take down there. So that's what I'm going to be doing that. And I forgot this whole time, by the way, because I have such a small piece here, and we can talk about this, but it's Expedia. So I did hear something or saw something about Expedia earlier, and it was the fact that we had the Claude bots were coming for the...
that makes sense.
Yeah, for the travel space there. So I went short a little bit, stopped out, made a little bit of money on this one, took a couple VWAP trades on this, and now you can see we're in the money about $1 and change on this, but so small that, not even worried about it at all. We'll cross into the 70s. If there's a dip down, we'll get that fill. And then I was just waiting at VWAP again. Down into there, so maybe we get that. We're bidding 70 mid, see if we get that on a move lower right now. Not loading up on Tesla, Bitcoin kind of just hovering right now. Gold probably going higher. Amazon, it's already 330. Oh my God, right now. Amazon going lower. This was a short that we had earlier. This is the only equity short, sort of like equity name proper, that I had, because I had IBIT, Silver, and the Qs on our board today. But I had Amazon short 208. And that worked again, and then it didn't. And right now, 208's fine, but it's not like it was a key level at all today. So, there it is right there, 210. We'll have to see a 210 level next week for Amazon, or tomorrow, see if that comes into play there at all. All right, man, I'm just going to see if silver wants to just keep going higher here into the close. So we'll just keep on doing that. And, work out for work the stock until we see another trade. So I don't... Only 30 minutes left right now. Keep them in the chat, man. That BATL, did it open back up?
Well, it opened up and it opened higher, so that down halt did not result in a flush. I'm looking for basically one particular trade, which is TPET breakdown. And Battle probably needed to lose the bid here because this one's relatively weak, even though it's about 156%. It's still relatively weak. It's not making any fresh highs. So once we roll over, it feels like BATL is leading the group of these. Let's call them small cap energy names. By far, it's doing the most volume and volatility right now. Maybe not notional volume is what I should say. But if we break out that top and fail that break, then as long as we haven't made a new high in TPET, I might just take the short in that regard. But I'm not really thinking the long. And you can watch, it's going squeeze ham when, like USO, there was that quick little volatility flush. and right back higher, so right back into the highs. But if we start breaking that trend again, I have the one name that I want to look at, which is going to be the TPET. But Battle and that are what I'm watching. If there's any other small cappers, I know Indo's trying to go as well. INDO, this was probably the weakest of the group. Only up 11%, gave up most of its move. If anything, I'd be favoring the fade if Battle fails a high there, but I'm going to be looking at that TPT. Brad mentions a name that I'm happy about today. SoFi's green.
Yeah.
Like it's a good start. It doesn't really mean much, but it's a really good start. The daily chart, this is not a huge bounce day. It's not anything crazy. It's not going to make you think that this downward trend is gone. I think you also throw up the financials, and there's a muted, like I'm going to give it like a muted cheer for XLF. It looks like we're going to close over 51. It looks like we've double bottomed at 50. So for now, this is looking a little bit better, but I'm not full bore on any of those. And I'm waiting for a spot to add back into SoFi, which is the only reason I bring it up when someone talks about it. But yeah, it's kind of a muted bounce, which I'm semi-happy about, but not at the point that I would want to start hitting the bid on some of those financials. So I'm still looking at BATL, which for everybody, it just tagged the high and started coming back in again. So it's now double tapped this $13.50 zone. Doesn't break the high. My stop order is set to break underneath $1 here on TPET, and if it loses 95, I think that's going to be an ad. So I'm still looking at the same names, and they are moving like crazy. One short is asking what the volume spikes were 20 minutes ago. Any volume spike this afternoon is probably attributed to the headline from the IGRC, which is essentially saying they have closed the Strait of Hormuz, and they are going to set on fire any ships that they find there. So that threat caused spike in oil prices and most of the volatility we saw off the highs as well. Drop Systems asking about Fastly? Really? FSLY is in play today? Talk about a name that
report.
Yeah, I guess you're getting relief rallies all over the place. So yeah, wow. Okay. 9% here. Man, these guys were a rocket after earnings. Sometimes it's as simple as stock makes bull flag, take out break of bull flag. That's FSLY. This was one of the better names, and we traded it literally once after their earnings. It was like the day after on earnings, and then you forget about it and made that $20 breakout eventually here. So yeah, congratulations if you stuck with Fastly. I guess they just moved to the Nasdaq. That's why I'm not seeing any data pass there, but it doesn't matter. Still breaking out that 20 level. That's going to be in play for a while. Yeah, this battle does not want to roll over. This thing is so strong.
Battle.
Well, I'm not a huge believer in these names. I see what Indo did today, and if this does even half that, I think there's going to be a nice pullback. So just waiting for this to show some kind of a turn, and then I hit the bid on TPET, TPET. And Kyle, you're right, ships were avoiding the Strait of Hormuz, but any elongated disruption of the supply chain increases the likelihood that they would have to cut production if less and less is getting out, even if they're able to, still get some oil out there. The less and less gets out, the longer you do that, eventually it could come to the point where you have to halt some production because you run out of capacity to store. I think you're still weeks away from that, but that would be what gets us to $100 oil, if anything. Like, you'll have to really get prolonged.
I really hope a lot of you have that futures trade. I hope a lot of you have this silvers trade. Man, we nailed it here this afternoon. Unfortunately, I don't have. Okay, here we go, right back up. I might as well take something out at 49. Fortunately, I don't have the futures one, but at least we talked about it. But there's silver right now. Let's go. We've been having some decent diamond hands on this, although it looks like I have a bunch of outs because I do. But we'll just see if this can extend higher. Again, just that's the way I'm doing it. And here we go. See if we can get a move higher in Tesla as well. It's not looking great, but hopefully, it'll hold this 25 period, and then we can get back up there. 401 and change. I'm actually at $400.50. See if we can get an offer right there flat. And then after that, man, 401 flat, and then we'll just see if we get going. Here we go. Come on, give it. See? Like, even though we just stopped there, I'm going to offer 41s and get it. There we go. Hopefully we get it anyways. I don't know if we will. There you go. We get that there. So now we'll be more comfortable with this trade as we take another piece out there as we go. Back on Expedia. So we did get that 70 fill right into there. Let's see if it comes back in. I'm still bidding. Well, actually, now I'm not bidding down there because I canceled it. Let me put another bid. I mean, the market's going to close pretty soon. Maybe we will get an imbalance or something. I'm just going to go to 213, like 10s or something, put a bid there, maybe we get it. Like, look at the spread right now, right? It's 22 cents between the first 100 share lot. Other than that, you got to go swimming in the ocean and find out if there's something in the middle here, because 56 to 77, you can see there's a 57 print, there's a 73 print, there's 67. So, you know, there it is, come on. There is trading to make this market. So you got to be careful with trying to buy in between or anything like that. Just sit on the bid and ask, see if you get your shares. You always get a better price if that were to happen. So here it comes pushing a little lower. We like that one. And it's a good thing we got that Tesla. Silver still going higher as well. Silver now 50 cents in the money. Yeah, Big Bear AI, they go tonight, man. And we already had a little bit of a talk about that. My average price is still 420. I've not bought anything recently. I've been sitting in this stock for a while, man. We've been sitting in it basically since here. And that was last April. So last year at this time is when we were sort of starting to get into that. We took advantage of that and got out on the way up, did not do anything here, did not do anything here, and did not do anything here. So I don't want to buy it ahead of the earnings, but I do like that stock there today. And we'll see if anything can happen after hours for Big Bear AI. And then just quickly, I wanted to, and I've actually lost the, oh no, here it is right here. The stock heat map, because we've, you know, JP Morgan is actually at a decent spot where maybe we can think about going long. Yeah, there's Berkshire down today. Yeah, I was just noticing that as well. Down 4.5. Not so good on that one. Let's go silver. Let's go Tesla. Broadcom there, NVIDIA, we are sort of indicated how well they were doing today. Surprised on Google's weakness, but whatever, man. I want that stock to get a little bit weaker. We could buy some Eli Lilly, yuck, broken through 1,000. We'll see if it can hold that $1,000 mark right there. We did have Michael Noss come on. He liked health technology and healthcare today as well as I do. So maybe take advantage of these kind of plays, dip downs there. And, you know, the big one that I think you're waiting for, because it makes just the most sense, is the data centers, right? If the data centers can start to rock to the downside, those would be ones they'd want to pick up, because they're definitely building. And Tesla, sorry, I wanted to quickly check retail, there it is, because we have Target coming this week, so they're down 1%. Costco this week, Adara reminded us there, that's down half. Amazon, Home Depot reported last week, they're not doing too great today either. Home Depot's price 370, 325 or so is a good level for them. We'll see if that can come through. And then eBay, haven't been on that in a long time. eBay, just like Pinterest there. I don't know what is going on with eBay, you guys tell me. Because I don't use eBay. I know it's good for the sport card market and things like that.
Yeah, that's what you use it for, collectibles.
Yeah,
actually,
that,
I don't know. I use eBay every now and then because I like Lego.
Yeah.
I think is what it is. So I bought some Lego sets off of eBay, that's for sure. We are past 330, so, well, if Battle's not going to make another move, then the early look imbalances are, there's a couple. Kenvue kind of meaningless because it shows up there a lot at 4 million. BMNR 1.3 million to the sell side as well. CNQ's a sell of 1.2 million. There are a couple of expected moves here. VIR is expected to be a buy of 2 million for the S&P 600 upweight, and KTOS is expected to be an upweight in the S&P 400, and that's also about 2 million shares to the buy side. So those potentially could show up a little bit later on in the session. But Battle went from going ham to getting oddly quiet. So it puts in the lower high, and now it's just sitting here not doing anything. I don't suspect it's going to do nothing in the next 20 minutes. If it does break down, I still have my order to go on TPET. That's what's going to be next for me. Wally Sparks, it's the second time I've seen you put this in the chat, saying PayPal has news after the bell. Let me know what you're talking about there. Because
maybe there's expected news.
There wasn't anything I was aware of for PayPal. I can always double check. If you remember, PayPal kind of got smoked the other day. Like, there was the speculation that they could get bought out, and then nothing really came of that. But they're still putting in another higher low. So this is one that's very much still in play on a dead market bounce. But let me know what you're getting at, Wally. Ideally, you'd get deal news for them. I think that's what everyone's been waiting to hear, is that you could catch some kind of interest in being bought out. But until it actually happens.
You're welcome, Brody, and everybody else out there, man. I mean, I hope that, you know, we did, or I did anyways, good enough explanation there of where our outs were going to be for silver, what the risk profile look like associated with this trade. And there we go now, upside for silver. Now almost into that dollar club is SLV. Well, there it is. We just took another fill. So yeah, you know, we're getting going there. Let's just go cash cow for now, as silver is starting to be the one that we had hoped it would be there today for us. So silver so far so good, as that's starting to go high side there. SLV, good trading here today. Did get stopped out there. We did talk about that, and then all the way to the upside. And you know, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But another call. We're running a little bit out of time here, but Marvell, if you like the stock, which I really do, it's coming into, again, a decent, here, we'll push this out here, $80.50. So I just wanted to say, like, that's your 200 period moving average. We sat on there today for a minute, down here, right when the market, or sorry, between 9:30 and 10. We hadn't really visited it again, and right there, we just bounced pretty nicely off of that at 80.50. So it's not like you're far away from Marvell. Maybe some damage can be done on this name if you were looking for a long. I've already sort of made my bed right now. There's silver. Okay, we can do it now. We're now $1 in on SLV, so that's going to be a good trade. We'll offer some 90s there just to close that gap, and then we'll see if we can get, you know, even more upside from here. Silver so far, nice print machine after or this afternoon for me on SLV, so we're happy with that trade, and we'll look for some more trades there. But I like that Marvell look there. Okay, there it is, man. We get it.
Another one.
And then maybe we can find
another one.
But maybe not. And if not,
another one.
We'll show up tomorrow. We can get another one. But that's so far so good. And oh, here's another one. We're sitting on Tesla, as that's trying to go to 401. So we're going to offer 401 on Tesla. That was a good dip buy opportunity. You know, again, like cry spill milk over there, but we come back, we buy Tesla on the dip. Now that's starting to go to the upside. So that's going to be a good trade there as well. And we really want to thank you. Again, thank you so much. I told you, man, we've changed a lot. I ain't here because the pretty face, man. That would be Neil has a prettier face than me, but he's here to trade as well. But there goes Tesla upside again. So 401 and change, and there it is. Shawn showing risk management. Thank you for that. And I just consider myself a risk manager through and through. So if we're gonna, you know, do that, then I say mission accomplished. You guys can check out the Trader TV Live Academy and you know, learn all about our risk management techniques, where we learn them from, and how we're trying to teach you guys all about risk management and whatnot. So yeah, man, so far so good here this afternoon. We just gotta see. I mean, the Nasdaq's hovering around 25,000. It's not really doing anything right there. Bitcoin up to 69 again, so that's going to be a good one. Our recent dip buy was 66 there on BTC, so that's going to be good. Okay, silver, come to the party as long as you're well dressed. And today just took a minute, man, to get silver going. Now back up 3.5%. Looks like we might have picked the right one, and we got some people talking to me about gold, saying that could have been the trade. Gold hasn't really moved. It's silver, the one that started going upside. Just more volatile is silver, and that's all.
It's always more volatile.
Yeah, we have more experience trading it anyways, so there goes silver.
Yeah, it's always going to be more volatile, silver than gold. When it starts going, it can get boring, but when it starts going, it's just going to move more. That's how it is. Battle is trying to break out this high of the day, so here comes that potential fail break that I was looking for. Well, 7 minutes to go until the imbalances come out. The only imbalance notable that I'm looking for hasn't shown up yet because it's Nasdaq, and that's going to be KTOS, but BTA. Battle just won't break out the high. And the longer it fails to break out this high, I'm just looking for any breakdown. I still have my order to go short, but you have to be particular about it. Like, I like these names. This morning, Indo was the one, but I'm kind of feeling this TPET because of the $1 level. So the second we get any kind of a push down, I wait for that one opportunity, and then that's going to be the stock for sure. I keep seeing a lot of people talking about, I know SoFi is making some breaks to the high side today. And I go back to, SoFi got back to the high, it's up a couple of points. I don't think this is a celebration type of situation. The market got green. It's actually, Nasdaq's slightly red now again. ES is slightly red as well. But it was a good battle back. So I think it's easy to overreact to the bounce that we're seeing in some stocks and not zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Nothing about this still doesn't look like it's weak. Someone asked me, they're like, well, AVAV in your drone plays, it's cheap at this price, go get it. Do you want to pick this up the day that it broke support? That's, again, for me, no. I'd rather be a little bit more patient than that. I think that's part of trading. Whether it's swing trading, day trading, whatever your time frame might be, you've got to let it set up. And when I was asked about getting back into this, my first thought is, I have never, and I don't think I would ever, get out of a swing trade and try to re-enter it on the same day. Like I was in this stock when it bounced the 200 period with my stop underneath 228. It bounced, I reloaded it, it lost support today. That's an out. I don't think it makes sense to jump back into a swing trade literally the same day it hit that stop. Just because I can get it at 10% lower doesn't mean it's the right idea when it just lost the trend. You know, I'd rather wait and look for that next opportunity out there. It's one of those, it's so easy to get FOMO. It's so easy to overreact to moves and get all emotional about it and then want to get that next trade. But that next trade requires there to be a setup. It requires there to be something looking a little bit good. And don't get me wrong, I do think this stock, I do like this for the long term. I will buy back into it at some point. And you know what? If at the end of the day, I end up getting back into this after it's at a higher price, fair enough. I can always live with that. Like there's nothing wrong with waiting it out. I'd rather get the win than try to have the bottom. That's the way I try to look at it. I'd rather be into something where I like the trade, where I'm confident about it, as opposed to, oh, it's lower, I like it, therefore I have to get the best price. I think that's a good way to get yourself into a little bit of trouble. So I wouldn't be necessarily celebrating on that one just yet. Battle looks like it is going to take out that high of day. So if my thesis was waiting for a false break, there's your breakout at the top. It's now starting to come back in. So instead of $1, there's 5 minutes until imbalances come. TPET, it would break this 104. So if we cannot hold this high, then I think I'm looking for that break. And Ja, again, like I appreciate you. I'm not even considering that advice on AVAV. That's literally a stock I got out of today. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Like that's my process for it. Because I find because that would be like a revenge trade. It's like, oh, just because I can get it 10% cheaper than where I sold it, that doesn't automatically make it a win. Yeah, it's good to be able to get a cheaper price. But if I thought that about SoFi or any other trending down stock, like it's so easy. You could just buy all the way down and then be in a world of hurt. So we'll see. PMax says, would you buy NVIDIA or AMD right here? NVIDIA. Only reason I'm answering that question because that's an easy one for me. I can't buy AMD at its valuation relative to NVIDIA's. I don't get that. And I have nothing against AMD, and I still have a small position in AMD. I haven't sold all of my shares. I had them from a while ago. But that's NVIDIA, and to me, it's not even close, if I happen to be wrong about that. NVIDIA's new PE, or forward PE, was in the teens. Like, what are we talking about here? In the teens? Compared to AMD, that's easy.
Yeah, but we're still not buying NVIDIA down here. That's the thing. Like,
but I'm talking about relative to AMD.
Yeah.
No, that's not even a choice.
I don't know if either one is a buy. Let me just check out right here at what's going on today. Obviously, we'll have to check out. This is our portfolio tracker. If
that's not updated, it's meaningless.
No, it's updated. This is updated.
How is that possible? I can't be that. I got to be way lower than that.
No, I think you're probably right there. Here, let's see.
Oh, FCX might be.
AVAV, you're down right now 45% on that call. So it's showing.
Oh, it's because the other ones.
Is that the price, 205?
Yes.
Okay, so there it goes. So yeah,
moked.
So it's updated there. And on mine, I just have Big Bear AI, so we have to wait to see. That's the same one for me, down 36%. So I am,
this is killing me.
Honestly, I think Marvell I'm loving Marvell. Eli Lilly, I just took. I think that's going to be a decent long-term play, obviously, for the year. And then Big Bear AI comes today. It's just a matter of, 631. Like whenever we made the story there, I didn't buy any there. I'm long at 420, but that's when that started. I know the same thing was true with you there as well. Sharif, they're not too bad here. Let's go over here on the summary just to see OB still upside despite having. He has this one BW stock that's Sidhu short.
Well, Sidhu's on
again, yeah. Well, whatever. I mean, I've already disqualified.
That might go bankrupt.
Yeah,
they literally might go bankrupt.
Yeah.
They could literally go under.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just going to be huge if that goes under. But I didn't know we could short those. So good on you, Obi. And then Circle short, obviously getting crushed as well there. But we'll go over this portfolio tracker right now. The number one is Fabian with silver. He's got silver, and then Adara with the Oracle short, and then Randy with some oil long. Sharif, Mateo, Joe, Neal. Here we go. We'll see. That's all going to change, obviously, this week, as even Joe has CrowdStrike. So that should be an interesting one as we wait for earnings, and we'll get going on that. So, all right, man. It's only
here we go, super chat.
Oh, but right here, here goes
two.
Yeah, first of all, we'll do that in a second. But there's the Tesla, as now we're $1.20 in the money on Tesla and $1.20 in the money on silver. So there it goes, man. Yeah, looking good with the shave there. Easy peasy, keeps it going out all 1+K. Good job on that one. Easy.
Oh, and quickly to Adam James abroad. Anthony Noto buys 56,000 shares of SoFi.
Why so little?
I like the insider buy, but eat some more, Anthony. Buy more shares than that.
Exactly. What, don't you like the company, Anthony? Let's go.
That's only 12 million.
I don't know how that's like Neil's position.
I don't know how much he owns. No, it's not. Come on, son. But no, but like, I like that. I like that fact. I'm still not a reloader on SoFi just yet. Just give it a little bit more. Break a trend. Do something better. It hasn't shown any sign that it's breaking the trend. I do like the XLF where it sits. If we close about 51, that looks pretty good. 1 minute till the imbalances come out. Still the same on the early look. And then keep in mind the two names I was mentioning, S&P 600 upweight, VIR, S&P 400 upweight, KTOS, that's on the Nasdaq. So you wouldn't be able to see what's going to happen with it until 350. If that comes out of buy, literally at the high of the day. So it would be a high, well, high of the range, I should say, not of the day.
All right, just exiting out more here. Silver's trying to break lower, so we'll just be like, all right, we'll get out at 82, some 81, 88s right there. We're now $1.50 in the money on Tesla as that continues to go. And like I said, man, sitting here and worried that we don't have that short, it don't matter. Market doing its own thing right now. Check out on some Big Bear AI before close today. We do have those imbalances coming out very, very soon. And matter of fact, like right now. So that'll come through here, and we're just going to update. Oops. We'll update this so that we only see the New York and the Nasdaq. We don't need to see all this broker side. My mouse is not the greatest when we have these multiple screens. All right, there it is, man. They are now open or out. There's Netflix. Wow, Netflix $98, man. Congratulations on that one. We've done really well holding on to some Netflix, that is for sure. Tesla's mooning. So there it goes, man. Cash register, Dollar Club, Tesla. There it is as we drive away into the night. As Tesla now $2 in, and there it goes up to 402. So that's going to be just a banger there into the close, man. Tesla, $2 in the money. SLV, $1 in the money. Expedia, $2 in the money. And Expedia going lower as well. Oh boy, man, we're $2, $4, $5 in the money on these three positions. We're doing it live every day. What up, Adara?
Just be aware here, guys. I'm seeing, according to state media, Israel issuing an evacuation warning for South Lebanon, indicating an imminent strike. Furthermore, a reporter from Al Jazeera saying that sirens have been activated in Amman and multiple other cities in Jordan. So some warnings here in South Lebanon and Jordan right now. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara. Again, there's going to be lots of headlines. ONDS with $1 million on the buy side. I don't know if we actually mentioned some of these imbalances. ONDS $1 million to the buy side is probably the most notable one. It's not doing anything with it. For anyone that thinks that automatically these defense and drone names had to go up today, this has been, like, it's a rude awakening and a pretty negative day. Giving up the entirety of the move from the open is on this. So I'd almost play this for the other direction at 355. If this were to pair off, I'd look for a reversal into the 1080 level on ONDS. But the trade has to show you two things have to happen. One, it has to get there. Two, it has to start the reversal close to that 355 mark when you will see pairing events, especially on anything that is significant. Netflix with a buy, but a pretty small one. Small buy on Warner Brothers. I don't see NVIDIA on here in the balance locator, but Broadcom is at 800K to the buy side. So very small. Market's a 1.4 billion to the buy side. Not even sure that could be the case because there's nothing that big that stands out outside of Broadcom. Palantir, 750, that's not bad, but it should be in the millions if it's going to matter. Amazon is the only Mag 7 name, and that's at 600K. So pretty quiet. And then KTOS doesn't show up, right? So we're expecting KTOS, which was an upweight on the S&P 400. That was supposed to be 2 million. Doesn't really come out as anything. It's really just ONDS that is any kind of a move here at all. Let us know anything else you want us to look at for sure. That BATL battle ends up not really doing much at the end of the day. So it goes from the most volatile stock most of the day to not making a major move in the last half an hour or so. Actually, the last hour. It goes into a halt and then can't break the high, can't break the trend down. So a little bit surprising, but this would have been the one had it broken that trend. Owen Stone Trader asking about insight on the UNH breakout. I no longer am a huge fan of UNH. I've swung it twice and went 1 for 2 on swing trades in the last year. I guess it's making another breakout. I don't want to say I've given up on it, but yeah, you're right. It absolutely does look like a breakout on the daily chart if it can take out this 296, maybe break the 300 level. But I played this twice off this level, and I'm kind of done with this stock, man. If it can't get back above the 200 period moving average, like the one that worked was traded off to 50 to break out into the 200. So until it can do something new, which is get above the 200 period moving average, I'm done with this stock. It breaks the downtrend when it gets over that 320 mark. Then I get excited about a shot in UNH, but that's just me. It's disappointed me once and did okay the second time. Something has to be different for me to like it a third.
All right, good talk there on United Health. I just want to show everybody, like, this is what we're talking about. There's the VWAP right here. There's the rejection hold, and right there, and then there's the move higher into the close for Tesla. So we've already posted that up there on X, and just to show you, like, that's that trade. We should have Brian Shannon on tomorrow. We'll see if he's available to come through on Tuesday. All right, you know, Iran's still launching more drone strikes here. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, I'm just seeing here, apparently there was an insider buy with SoFi, Anthony Noto, just disclosing a purchase of 50,000 shares. I'll have to look more into the timing of that, but either way, just starting to see this circulate within the last 10 minutes or so. Truth Social post from Trump on watch, though. Trump posting, and I quote, "Everybody watch Shawn Hannity tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Netanyahu will be interviewed. So if you happen to be trading oil after hours, be aware, going to get that interview with Benjamin Netanyahu, leader of Israel, at 9 p.m. Eastern. Back to you.
Okay, so be aware of that. Now, the president tweeting out, you know, shows. So get ready to watch that. And also making sure to tell everybody that if you are an oil trader, so yeah, President Trump is doing everything right now the best that he can. So, and we're doing the best that we can as well. There it is right now. It's your face slapper of the afternoon. It's $3 right now on Tesla. As there it goes, man, through 403, 404, 405. Let's see how far we can go right there. Boom. Huge move upside there for Tesla. We did get out of Expedia there. We got filled at that low, so nothing really going on there. I wish we would have obviously held for those moves, but pretty choppy with the spread. But there goes Expedia to the downside, so obviously we take that fill. And then just more outs. We're almost out of everything now, as we need to be flat at the end of the day. But we'll just see what happens with Tesla as it just keeps on going upside now, breaking through 403. We'll see. I mean, I could put an offer. Let's put an offer at 403.50. We have, like I said, we're short. We have to be out at the end of every single day. As soon as 4 o'clock hits, we want to be flat. So we're on a prop floor, and that's what we're doing, man. You know, trading other people's capital, trying to teach you guys risk management. We want to thank for all the positive talk there in the chat, man. Keep it coming. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. We won't be here. 8 a.m. we'll be here tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 8 p.m., the earnings name that has moved the most will be which?
Tomorrow at 8 p.m.? Oh, I don't.
Well, forget about it.
I have to know the names. That
out of the earnings names that are reporting tonight, which will be the biggest mover? Let's see.
BBAI.
You think it'll be BBAI? I'm feeling ASTS. I'm going to go with the space name. I'm going with Astis. Traders call it Astis. I'm going to go with ASTS. Thinking that could be the biggest one moving.
Oh, do we have the expected earnings moves?
Well, oh, shoot, I don't have it up. I know Adara does have it. Expected earnings moves?
Yeah, I posted those a while ago.
If you could.
I'm pulling them up.
I will say there's nothing smaller than 10%. They're all at least 10%.
They're all
I did go over these earlier, I believe. Largest one is going to be, I think it's one of the ones later in the day, but Shawn has them up now.
It's Mongo. Yeah, it's Mongo right there, followed by, I mean, I didn't know these before, so, but whatever. Well, I only said Big Bear AI because, like, I own that name. And we'll see where it goes. But Big Bear AI right there, 15%. We'll see if it can do that. I think MongoDB, now that I see this will probably be the biggest mover. Again, the software names. I just want anything software related, I think, is going to be big. So,
it's volatility.
Yeah, so these two. I'd go with BBAI first, MongoDB second, and then I don't know. I don't know enough about Plug anymore or anything like that. So,
well, Plug has the fact, in terms of what will move the most, Plug's only a $2 stock. So
right.
In theory, like the path of least resistance could argue that Plug might make a bigger move. But the stock is doing absolutely nothing going into the close. Michael, Is that true? JL8, you just retracted your message saying, I just saw you put in there that Michael Burry closed a short in Palantir, but then you deleted your message. I've seen nothing to suggest that. Now, not that it really matters, but this is something that we're pointing out today. At least to my field of view, since this lower high, Palantir is breaking the downtrend on this close. So it's not, we didn't pull back with any disastrous afternoon, but this is going to be a trend break. If it can get above 146 change, that's a bit of a breakout here on PLTR. It rejected it earlier at that 146 and change, couldn't break the 147, but this is the gap to be filled tomorrow on Palantir. So if we open tomorrow where we're closing on Palantir, then Palantir turns into a breakout trade above the high for a potential gap fill. I like that trend break. Whether or not Burry got out of his slide, it doesn't really matter. To me, like, the chart speaks for itself, the strength speaks for itself. It has two good positive stories going for it, which is one, the sentiment, unfortunately, what's going on in the Middle East, and then two, it's got the Anthropic story from Friday, which, you know, is a big enough catalyst on its own with the DoD pulling the plug on Anthropic. And then good for OpenAI because Microsoft had a good bounce as well on that headline.
All right, one last minute left right now. So as I said, we're just going to start to get out of everything. We're still waiting for 403.40s. If we can get that on Tesla, only 10 cents away, we should be able to. And then we're just going to clear out silver, we barely had anything left. We'll just clear it out right here at 61, 62s. And then, come on, man, we're 10 cents away from getting this. We'll just keep it there. Hopefully we get it at 40. Maybe there'll be some back and forth there at the close. We only have 10% left, or less than 10%, 5% left of our Tesla trade right now. With just moments until this market closes, it looks like the Nasdaq, she'll be green today, and the ES will try to get green. It looks like we may make a green play right there at the close. Nasdaq O's, ES O's. So relatively flat day, but if you could rewind the clock, I think we all would take this immediately if we had known this end result for the bulls coming through again. And there it is, man. We do get our trade right there at the end of the day at 403.40. It just printed right at the end. So that was a good fill there and gives us about that 350 or so on Tesla. So that looks like that would be a good trade coming through right now. It looks like Riot is out a little early here, as maybe not early, but right at 4 o'clock. So Riot's out, nothing going on right there. But yeah, that's a good day, man. Tomorrow's going to be another big one. I mean, the volatility is definitely here. I don't know, what was VIX at, 20?
You know what,
20?
that's the one thing, yeah, we didn't actually go over the VIX, which usually on a day like today we would have, but I think it was one of those, well, everybody knew the VIX was going to spike, so it felt like what was the point of mentioning it? We didn't actually make any fresh highs. We did tag 25 on the VIX, but then we just spent the rest of the day just dropping, obviously, as the market rebounded here. But 25 is that big line. Like, whenever you get to about 25, it's if it can break out there, then you start thinking it can get pretty nasty. So yeah, market rally reflected in the fact that volatility came back in, and we're still above 20, so it's still elevated.
All right, thanks for watching today. It's been another great show, obviously. Join us tomorrow at 8 a.m. Big Bear Eye's not out till 4:15, so we're not going to hang around until then. Thanks, Brendan, everybody. Adara, what a great interview there, midday. So thank you so much for that. Everyone, go rewind that, 12:30 or so. Andre, Fabian.
It was like 1:30, 1:40.
Oh, 1:30, okay, not 12:30. Go rewind that to 1:30. Go find that interview right there. And the company name, Adara, was?
It was Visionary Copper and Gold with CEO Max Porterfield.
There we go.
BCG on the venture.
Yeah, go check that out. Good call out there. Yeah, thanks to everybody, man. Joe and Sharif, although not here now, I'm sure they're doing well. We'll see all of them tomorrow as well. But yeah, that's it, man. We've got just got hockey tonight, so the wife's already made the food. We'll be eating that later on when we get home. So home, hockey, hang out. For me, it's just a social thing. There's so many parents, obviously, that we meet and hanging out, watching my daughter practice for an hour and a half. Boring as hell. So we sit there. No, I mean, I really like it, but I've been to literally 1,000 practices.
I never get tired of watching.
No, you will eventually.
Maybe at some point. I haven't reached that point in any sport yet.
Yeah, you will. Well, you only have the one kid there. This is my third rodeo, so it's all good. But all right, man. Thank you so much to everybody for watching today. We're back tomorrow. Hopefully the market will be upside. It's flat right now, zero.
Well, I think flat was good today. Flat was good today.
Yeah, we would take that one. All right, that's Neil. I'm Shawn. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Until then, be well. Chat then.